We are the Ducks shuffling crew. Oh.
Good evening from ATI Field at Joliet Memorial Stadium. It is the 2017 MidStates Football League Championship game. It's the Wisconsin Hitmen and the Tri-City Ducks. I'm Dan Wadewitz, joined by Steve Sliwka, and on the camera, Ivan Ortega. And Steve, no matter what happens here this evening, the MidStates Football League is going to have a brand new champion. Neither one of these teams, of course, the Ducks in their first year, neither one of these teams have won the MSFL title.
That's right. The Ducks are coming off a GFL championship, but this is going to be their first time in the MSFL. The Hitmen have been here, I believe, 7 years since the big IFL carryover, so this is a big thing for them. Hitmen made a lot of noise last year and then petered out at the end and missed the playoffs, so this has got to be a big moment for them.
And for the Tri-City Ducks, they took down the Lincoln Way Patriots, the defending champions of the league. The Hitmen, they had to take down the Racine Raiders, who had won the championship in 2014 and 15, also 2012. So those teams had to take out the teams that had won it the last 3 years to be able to get here for their right to claim that title.
Yeah, the Patriots were the overwhelming favorite this year to repeat. And for the Ducks to come in, I think most people had them around, the 1 through 3rd slot, and it's a big deal for them, especially to run undefeated in this league. It's not an easy feat, and they went undefeated in the offseason as well, beating the Raiders and a few other game teams. So.
Yeah, they did have a couple close ones. The opening game of the season on June 10th of the MidStates Football League season at Hart Park against the Milwaukee Chargers. They narrowly won that one 13-12. They got by Lincoln Way the first time they played them on June 24th by 9. That one a 24-15 game. They just got by the Quad City Raiders at home 32-27. That took the final play of the game for them to be able to win that one.
Yeah, and there's even some controversy behind that. And you have to wonder, with the Ducks, is there a temptation there? I've played for years, and I know this exists, and a lot of people are going to deny it, but the fact that a lot of people were saying that the Ducks versus the Patriots was the championship game. This is just, a formality of sorts. So you have to wonder if the Ducks are concerned at all about will they take this team lightly. Now, we've all seen the Hitmen play. Hitmen are a good team, and I hope they come in there knowing that this is a championship quality team. So they have to take them seriously. Hitmen are a great team. I've seen them play. They have great team defense. They have good offensive lines. They communicate well, both offense and defense. If they're not serious, Hitmen are going to run away with this thing.
Yeah, you look at the offense, the Ducks, I think, get the advantage on offense in this one. In defense, you probably give the advantage, a slight advantage, I would say, to the Hitmen. Both teams with a good defense, but I've had an opportunity to see them both play. They both played the Racine Raiders, who I normally broadcast for, and the Ducks were the most impressive team I watched the Raiders play this year. Special teams, I would have been likely to give the advantage to the Hitmen, but they lost their punter, Jonathan Johnson, in the Richhart Conference Championship game. He's not going to play. Looks like they're going to try and have their normal kicker, TJ Hearn, handle punts, and I was watching TJ handle some punts in the pregame warmups, and he was getting them high, not necessarily far, but a lot of that the height of that is going to play a big role, because that will limit the return from the Ducks. Even if he gets them higher and shorter, you're limiting any return chance.
Yeah, and I think the big key here is Andre Locke, where he might not have the strongest arm. The guy is a leader, and where he goes, so do the Ducks. So if they can't contain him, that's going to be a problem. Plus, the Ducks have a big running back, and they're going to have to slow down that running game. The key to the Ducks is keeping the score close. And I think that's what we're going to have here tonight.
Yeah, you look at Andre Locke, he, of course, was the MVP in the league, but, the Hitmen have Dylan Kelly, and Kelly's not one of those guys that's going to light up the stats book at all. And you look at him, 5'10", 180 pounds. He's a little bit smaller than you'd like to see in a quarterback, but going into that Richhart Conference Championship game, he had thrown 10 TDs and just 1 interception on the season with the stats that were put in the system. And he has some good receivers. He has Andrew Catarucci. That's the guy that really, I think, has been the difference maker for the Hitmen on offense this year. He will make a couple spectacular catches here tonight, I have a feeling.
And I think the one thing that it really goes just not, it's really never talked about as coaching in minor league or whatever you want to call it, semi-pro. Coaching is way, just nobody thinks about it. And the Hitmen have great coaching. It's obvious this year. I think they have defensive coordinator of the year. They're really well coached. They're disciplined. And that's the one thing they're going to have to use today going against such a high-powered team. I mean, the Patriots were up 13-0 with, I believe, only 5 minutes in the game. And they came out, they got a few big pick sixes, and they came back in the game. They're fast. Before you know it, they have 21 on the scoreboard. So they're going to have to remain disciplined, and the coaching's really going to have to come through.
I have to say, when Chi City came up to Horlick Field in Racine, and I looked at their offensive line, I sat there, I went, man, this is going to be a turn gate, for the Raiders' defensive line. You just looked at the guys, didn't look very athletic or anything like that, but they get the job done. It's a lot of beef up front, 305, 330, 325, 360, and 300 across their line from left to right.
I'll tell you, who's a game changer is number 77, Anthony Bullock, their tackle. Guy is an absolute powerhouse. I've seen him play with the Michigan Ironmen. He's a game changer. He was not there in the beginning of the year because he was playing arena ball, but the guy is just unbelievable. Watch for them to run a lot behind him.
And then Brian Miles and Denzel Whitaker, the two key receivers for the Ducks, yard line. So a 29-yard punt by Locke. And it will be Wisconsin Hitmen football at their own 26-yard line. And they will take over with 10:42 to play in our first quarter. No score. Hitmen and the Ducks. Hitmen their first possession of the game. Dylan Kelly, 807 yards passing on the season, 10 TDs, 1 interception. 2 receivers to the left, tight end on the right side of the formation. Kelly with a back to his left, right, moves him over to the left. And now moves his extra lineman over to the left side, and Kevin Buxton. Kelly in the pistol formation, he pitches it out to the left to Jonathan Sane, and Sane puts it on the ground. That's going to result in a loss of 6 yards on the play back to the 20-yard line. And check that, that's Jerry Hammonds.
Ivan, should we go Facebook Live?
I can't get on the computer. If you want to do
On my phone, yeah. Just for now until if you come back up.
It's up to you if you want to do that.
So it'll be a 2nd down and 16 for the Wisconsin Hitmen after the loss of 6 on the play. 2 receivers off to the right, 2 to the left for Kelly. This time he has Jeremy Bland to his left. Ball back at the 20-yard line for the Hitmen. Under 10 minutes to play in our first quarter. No score. Kelly looking to pass this time. Looking middle of the field, and it's deflected. Knocked up in the air by Troy Talaga. Intended receiver was Rick Levy, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 16 for the Hitmen.
Troy does a nice job dropping to his zone. Very good, knowledgeable linebacker. You can tell he's played at a higher level.
I know in the Racine game, I believe he had a pick 6 in that one to start off the season. So a 3rd and 16 for the Hitmen. They'll have Levy, Hammonds, and Sane off to the right side. 1 receiver, I believe that's Catarucci to the far side of the field for Dylan Kelly. Kelly takes, looking to pass. Kelly has some time. He's going to throw to Sane in the flat. Sane makes the catch at the 20, and there is Talaga who knocks the ball away, and they're going to call forward momentum stopped up at the 22-yard line, so it'll be a gain of just 2 on the play, and it's going to end up being a 3 and out for the Wisconsin Hitmen, and now they're going to send out TJ Hearn and see what Hearn can do as he's been practicing punting over the last couple of weeks.
TJ for a long time has been the Racing Threat field goal specialist. I'm sure you're familiar with him, Don. So punting is a different animal, so we'll see how good he can do.
So Hearn back. Miles just across midfield. They're going to back him up a little bit now back to his own 40-yard line. Awaiting the punt from Hearn with under 9 minutes to go. Hearn's punt nearly blocked. A flag comes out immediately, and it angles towards the sideline, and it will go out of bounds. Actually, it did go out of bounds right at midfield. As it stands, a 28-yard punt for TJ Hearn, but it looks like by the body language that the Ducks maybe got in a little early.
Yeah, it looked like it was offsides on the end.
Quentin Hicks looked to be the one coming right up the gut at that one with a chance at it.
It's important to know that this is a neutral crew. These guys are out of Door County, Wisconsin. The Destroyers, correct?
That is correct. Roger Annan, the referee. They're going to talk to the Hitmen. Third penalty of the game against the Ducks. So what do the Hitmen decide to do here? A tack-on penalty and just move them back a few yards, or do they want Hearn to punt again? The Ducks almost got in there on that one.
Yeah.
But they're going to go and they're going to say, let's punt it again. So Hearn will move up a few yards and he'll launch this one off again. And with Miles back deep, if you can just take the penalty, tack it on to the end, that might be the better choice.
You wonder if the Hitmen are going to take advantage of the aggressiveness of the Ducks, try to get them off sides, and then call a timeout.
They do have a 4th and 9 here. Miles now back to his 30-yard line. The line of scrimmage up to the 27 here.
For all those watching on Facebook Live, yes, this is being shot on a cell phone for now. We're having a little bit of computer difficulty. The game will be available in its entirety after the game, but right now our live feed, we're having a little bit of problems with that, so we appreciate your patience.
Little confusion by the Hitmen. They might end up giving this 5 yards back if they don't snap this one quickly, but they do get it off. And Hearn, a line drive kick this time, really booms it down to the 25, fielded at the 20 by Miles on the far side of the field. He's outside the numbers on the near side, ripped down at the 37-yard line. He's calling for a face mask. No flag comes out. Jameel Moore on the tackle. So it'll be 1st and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
We're back. Yep. All right, guys, we're back.
1st and 10 at the Ducks' own 37-yard line as they start out this second drive. And a good punt by Hearn, but once again, we talked about that coverage. He kind of outkicked his coverage on that one, and a 17-yard return on the punt by Miles.
It was a nice pickup by the Hitman fullback there. He had a straight run at TJ, and really nice pickup.
So it goes down still as a 36-yard net punt for TJ Hearn. Chi City starting out. 1st and 10, trips to the right, one receiver to the left. Andre Locke in the shotgun formation. He has a back off to his right. That's Jerome Lassiter. He hands off to Lassiter. Lassiter up the gut. And Lassiter up across the 45 before he is upended by Christian Foster, one of the safeties. And that's going to be a pickup of 11 and a first down for the Ducks. So they got something going there with the big man, Jerome Lassiter, who averaged 10.5 yards per carry. And now it's going to be a hurry up here for the Ducks. Same formation for Locke. Locke gives to Lassiter again. This time nowhere to go for Lassiter. And he's going to be taken down by Wes Hicks. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 10 for the Ducks. So they tried a little bit of a hurry up, Steve, and it didn't work out for them.
Yeah, I think they're going to try using the weight of that Ducks offensive line like you brought up in the beginning and try to get this Hitman defense tired. Chasing Locke around, it's a long day for a defensive lineman.
Trips again off to the right side, one receiver off to the left. That is Denzel Whitaker. Moving from the right side to the left side of Locke is Lassiter. 2nd and 9, 7 minutes to play in our opening quarter. No score in the MSFL championship game. Locke takes, looking to pass, looking to his right, throws it into the flat, caught by Ward, and Ward will be taken out of bounds in Wisconsin Hitmen territory at the Hitmen 47-yard line. That will be a gain of 6 and bring up a gain of 5 and bring up 3rd and 5.
Don, you wonder if the snap game is going to come into play here. If you noticed a few times, and if you called it a few times, Andres had to grab out and claw for that snap. So you wonder if that's going to come into play.
Ward, with a few TDs on the season, 375 yards receiving for this Ducks offense. They flip the formation, 3 receivers to the left on a 3rd and 5 from the 47-yard line of the Hitmen.
Watch for the slot.
Locke rolling out to his left. Looking, trying to direct traffic. He's going to keep it himself. He gets outside the numbers, down the sideline, knew exactly where he needed to get to, and steps out of bounds at the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 7 and a first down again for the Ducks as they move the chains.
That's a smart football player, Don. Knew exactly where he had to go. Used that slot to run out the linebacker. He had easy 5 yards before contact.
No score, 5:45 to play in our opening quarter. Ducks on their second possession went unbeaten in the MidStates Football League as they march towards that north end zone. Whitaker goes off to the right side, 3 receivers to the left. Jerome Lassiter to the left of Locke in the backfield. Locke takes, fakes a handoff to Lassiter and tries to complete it to Miles on a screen, but throws low of Miles at the near numbers, and it's going to bring up a 2nd down and 10. So Locke just 1 of 4 in the game passing, but he does have 4 carries for 29 yards already.
And that's where Locke gets you. He's a very smart ball player, and he doesn't have to beat you with his arm. He had a draw play against the Patriots, I believe, 74 yards. And he's just smart. He knows when to run, when not to.
Trips to the right. Denzel Whitaker, one of the leading receivers for this team, set off to the left side one-on-one. Lassiter to the left of Locke as Miles comes in motion. And the handoff goes to Lassiter. And Lassiter able to bully his way down near the first down at the 31-yard line before Hicks is able to bring him down for the Hitmen, I should say, and it'll be a gain of 9 and be 3rd and 1.
Real good patient run there. He let his lineman set up his blocks and followed him and just waited his time, and nice gain. Set him for a 3rd and 2.
3rd and 1 here. So right at the 31-yard line, need to get down to that 30. Nice drive by the Ducks, started back at their own 37-yard line. Twin receivers each way this time for Locke. Lassiter to his right. In motion, Creekmore from slot left to the H-back spot on the right side of the formation. Locke takes, looking to his right, looking middle for Miles, incomplete. Thrown behind Miles. He tried to make a one-handed grab out there on the coverage. Yaffe Harvey for the Hitmen, and it's going to bring up a 4th and 1. And I would imagine with their kicker, Carlos Gonzalez, is long on the season, being 33 yards, that the Ducks are going to go for it here.
Yeah, that seems to be the smart play. You got a big physical offensive line, very versatile quarterback.
They haven't lost yardage yet on the game. They have, Lassiter has 1 carry where he got no gain, but the Ducks have not gone backwards other than via penalties. They already have 3 of them in the game. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right with 4:24 to play here in the opening quarter. A 4th down and 1 at the Hitmen 31-yard line for Chi City. Lassiter to the left of Andre Locke off his left hip. Ooh. And Locke tries to draw the Hitman off sides. It doesn't work. He's under pressure. The safety blitz. And Yaffe Harvey takes him down, and the ball is loose. Check that. That's Malcolm Love that got in there.
Don, that's a fantastic job, but did they get him off sides?
Did a flag come in late?
I didn't see it go, but they're pointing.
One wasn't thrown at the line.
I don't know if that's just the Ducks protest. It was close.
A hold against the Ducks. It'll be declined, and it's going to be a 1st down for the Hitmen as they get the fumble recovery. I believe it ended up being Tom Krall that got on the fumble recovery. It was Yaffe Harvey that got the, or check that, I'm sorry. It was, Malcolm Love that got the sack and the forced fumble.
Great tackle there. You know what? Locke's not easy to bring down. He stuck with it, got him low.
So with 4:12 to start, this drive, the Hitmen come out. Good starting field position up at their own 43-yard line. Twin receivers each way here for Dylan Kelly. Kelly fakes the handoff, and he's going to keep it himself and go right up the gut, and he'll pick up a couple of yards to the 45-yard line on the tackle, Alpha Ba, for the Tri-City Ducks. A gain of 2. It'll be 2nd down and 8.
I believe that's the first positive play by the Hitmen so far this game.
They did have that short pass to Sane for 2 yards.
That's correct. Well, we're tied. But this isn't a team that's put up a lot of points. Against, I know they did against the Rush, but against the Raiders it was close. Against the Chargers,
9-6, 5-3, they had a couple games in there.
Little baseball score.
Unless it's Brewers-Cubs tonight. And they put up a football score. 2 receivers to the left, I formation backfield with Kelly in the pistol. Hands it off to Quirio, and Quirio has nowhere to go. In on the tackle, Spencer Blank Jones, and that's going to be a loss of 2 yards and bring up a 3rd down and 10 for the Hitmen. And this has been the Achilles heel, as you said, that offense for the Hitmen. They started off the season fine. Leiden and Rockton, they put up 35 and 31 points, but then it was 9-3, 23-3. They had 49 against the Jets, and then 20 and 19. So they've been winning games without putting up a whole lot of points.
Well, something's got to give soon.
They'll have 2 receivers each way for Kelly. He'll work out of the shotgun this time. Running back is Jeremy Bland to his right. Bland averaging 3 yards a carry, 3.3. Kelly takes, looking to his left, scanning the field, has time, throwing to the sideline. Nice one-handed grab by Jonathan Sane. No, he was pushed out of bounds. Did not come down with both feet down. Great defensive effort on the far sideline. And for the Ducks, that was Chris Durr over there, and it's going to bring up 4th down.
A lot of time to throw the ball. Made a good throw, just a little too far to the left. They used to have the rule where if you were pushed out, it was still a 1st down, or it was still complete. Mm-hmm. They did away with that. I wonder if they'll ever look at that again.
So Hearn on to punt, Miles back deep. Line of scrimmage, the 43-yard line for the Hitmen. 2:20 to play in our opening quarter, no score. Both teams with 2 possessions, and the Hitmen come after it. Blitz gets picked up. Hearn, a line drive kick that's going to hit at the 28. Miles lets it bounce around. Big block, and almost causing some problems with Blank Jones as he almost made contact with it, and it's going to go out of bounds at the 15-yard line. So that'll end up being a nice punt of 42 yards inside the 20 with no return for TJ Hearn.
Telling you, Don, for just starting that, he's doing a really good job. And I know you said they were going high in practice. He's been anything but just pretty much a line drive kick. Hitmen have done a decent job getting down there. So far, so good for TJ Hearn.
Thanks for tuning in. If you're listening online, feel free. You can hit me up on Twitter. Let us know where you're listening from, at Dan Wadewitz. That's WADEWITZ. Would love to hear from you. Also can check in on the MSFL Facebook page. We got Jeremy Wozrick monitoring that for us. 2 receivers each way here for the Tri-City Ducks. The first turnover went to the Hitmen. They couldn't do anything with it, didn't move the ball at all. Lassiter to the left of Locke as he stands back at his 10-yard line. Locke takes, hands it off to Lassiter, and Lassiter trying to go over right tackle will plow his way ahead for about 4 yards, and it's going to be Krall on the tackle over there along with Carlos Rattler.
That's something that teams get away from, especially nowadays. Everybody needs the big pass, the big run. There's nothing better for an offensive coordinator, for an offensive line, than a 4-yard run. It wears down the defense. It establishes a nice rhythm, and there's nothing wrong with it.
And if you can get a couple of those and a 3-yarder mixed in, you've got a 1st down. Trips to the left for Locke. 1 receiver alone to the right side. Lassiter in there at running back again. Hands it off to Lassiter. Lassiter right up the gut, runs into Crawl again, and will get across the 20 to the 21-yard line. Just a gain of 2 on the play for Lassiter, and Crawl has been making his name known on defense quite a bit here for the Hitmen, and you'd expect that as he was the leading tackler for the game. It also looked like Carlos Rattler was on the bottom
Carlos
of the pile.
is doing a really nice job plugging up that hole. He's standing up the linemen, and he's letting the linebackers feed. He's doing a really good job.
6'2", 289 for Rattler. Of course, everybody on that Ducks line is over 3. Twin receivers each way. Miles moves from the right side to the left, and some confusion, and the Ducks will take their first time out of the first half. With 44 seconds left to play, we have no score in this MSFL championship game, and it's been a slow go of things. We knew both these teams' defenses were good. Thought maybe the Ducks' offense would get things rolling a little bit here, but they haven't thus far.
You just got to wonder if it's the hangover effect as well as just being rusty. You sit for 2 weeks, and it just happens, especially when you're not practicing 5 days a week. The Ducks are a very good team. They practice well. They have big numbers at practice. It's one great thing about the Ducks is, you go to any function, there's going to be 40 Ducks there. They play well. They're a family. Kind of an old school, a throwback. I know lately it's been a lot of Johnny-come-latelys to some of these teams, and the Ducks aren't that. They're very good. And I don't know about the Hitmen just because like I said, you're more of a North guy, I'm more of a South guy, so I can't say. But I know, the Hitmen do a nice job. They have dinners after each practice, and everybody goes there. They have a good sponsor bar, and them as well, and that's why they're here.
I know the Hitmen are one of those great organizations. They're when you go to a game, they actually give you that entertainment value, which is what you don't see at the semi-pro level a whole lot.
Yeah, they're one of the better ones. They really are.
So it'll be 2 receivers each way for Locke coming out of the timeout. Lassiter to his left. And now we'll move Lassiter over to his right side on a 3rd down and 4. Receiver in motion is Antonio Davis. Slot left to the right, giving him trips to the right. Fakes a handoff to Lassiter. Locke rolls out to his right, tries to spin out of it, and Wes Hicks will rip him down back at the 24-yard line. That is going to be a loss of about 8 yards on that sack and bring up 4th down for the Ducks.
Don, that play was doomed for failure. There was absolutely no communication on that. I don't know if the running back knew that fake was coming. But I think, as well, I don't know why you fake on 3rd and 10. Play action isn't going to work when they don't believe it.
And that will take us to the end of the first quarter here, as the Ducks will have to punt, and the wind is in their face right now, so they will be wise to let it run down, and they will do so. And the first quarter will come to an end in the MSFL championship game, and a defensive battle so far. The offense is having a little trouble getting things going. The Ducks had something going on their second drive, but ended up having the sack and the fumble. Malcolm Love, the defensive player of the year, causing that, and their drive stalled, and they had turned it over, and the Hitmen couldn't go anywhere on their ensuing drive.
How is the Hitmen's field goal kicker?
TJ Hearn is, he's been around for a while. He's pretty good. He was 5 of 7 on the year, though most of his attempts have been short. But in the past, I have seen him put him through from 40 yards out. So he has the opportunity, and especially if they would have the wind at their back. It's not much here, only about 8 to 10 miles an hour, but that's good enough to maybe get you, if you loft it up there a little bit, a couple extra yards. The one thing with Hearn is his kicks tend to be low. Yeah. So that would be the concern with a kick from Hearn. I know he's had a couple blocked most of his season.
We remember that fateful night, Threat versus Racing Raiders. 5,000 people, very close game, and I believe
Brandon Rogers.
Yeah.
The first one between the teams. I actually couldn't make that game, and so I ended up hearing about it afterwards. And of all the meetings between those teams, that was the one to be at. It'll be Christian Foster back to receive the punt for Wisconsin. He's standing back at his own 45-yard line. And see if they have lock punting. They do have lock punting still here. Sometimes the Ducks will also use Whitaker as their punter. So line of scrimmage back inside the 15 at the 14-yard line. And now there's movement. And is this going to be another 5-yarder against the Ducks? Will this be the 4th accepted penalty against Chi City? It looked like it was Lionel Charleston that flinched. But did the Hitmen intentionally draw him? Nope, it will go against the Ducks. So that is their 4th penalty that's been accepted against them. The 5th overall. There was a holding penalty on the fumble recovery, so 4 for 30 yards now.
So what do you, Dom, what would you do? Do you come for the punt now? Or do you set up for a return?
I think you set up for a return
Yeah,
here. Foster's pretty good. Yeah, he's standing inside the 50. Locke's not a great punter. He's going to take off with it, though, and he pitches it. A little forward pitch and gets upended. That is a bad move. That was Whitaker that he pitched it to, and that's going to set the Hitmen up big time, and it was Anthony Evans with the tackle. And the pitch to Whitaker from Locke only ends up going, where do they mark him down? Up at the 20 or up at the 16-yard line? So that ends up being actually a loss of 8 yards.
I don't see a coach. I do see a coach screaming, so I don't know if that was called. No, it doesn't look like that was intentional, Don.
So I don't know what
coaching staff.
I don't know what Locke saw there, but now the Hitmen have it at the Ducks 17-yard line with 14:40 or 52 to play in the first half. Big opportunity for the Hitmen here. A struggling offense, you don't want to give them a short field.
No.
Tom Benko to the left of Kelly, back in the backfield behind him. 2 receivers left, tight end on the right side. The pitch goes off to the right, or to the left, and that's David Welch. And Welch follows a couple blockers before he's taken down. It's Blank Jones on the tackle for the Ducks, and that will be close to a first down. Did he get enough? Depends on the spot here as they mark it about the 7-yard line.
Short.
No, they give it to him, so it'll be a gain of 11 and a first down for the Hitmen. And that is their first down of the game. And they have a 1st and goal now at the Chi-City 7-yard line.
1st and goal from the 7.
Looks like Giovanni Carney is the tight end on the right side of the formation. Catarucci to the left, along with Rick Levy. Back in the backfield, behind Kelly, who's in the pistol. The handoff and trying to go into the middle of that line and getting nowhere. The tackle by Tyler Miles. And once again, another handoff there to David Welch, who's normally a fullback, and he's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
They were showing blitz the whole time. It just makes you wonder if they have confidence enough to try to do a play action and a roll out and pitch for the quarterback, or if they're just going to try to hammer it down and go for the field goal.
So a mass substitution here for the Hitmen with 13:25 to play in the first half. They now have a 2nd and goal, but they're out at the 11-yard line of the Ducks following a fake punt. Trips to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Darius Harris didn't have anybody on him for a second. Kelly with Welch to his right. Welch averaging just 5 yards a carry on the season on just 10 carries. And he hits Jonathan Sane coming out of the back, and Sane will take it down to the 6-yard line. A gain of 5 on the play. It'll bring up 3rd and goal from the 6.
Yeah, if you're going to run against the Ducks, you can't do it in the middle, especially on short yards. In the red zone where they know you're going to be coming. They have a lot of strength, a lot of beef in that middle.
So a 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line for the Hitmen. Should be in field goal range here for Hearn. Only a long of 25 on the season for TJ Hearn. Jerry Hammond's all alone out on the far side of the field, trips off to the left for Kelly. And now we have a timeout taken by the Hitmen. They want to talk about this, so that is their first timeout here in the first half with 12:31 to play in our first half. We have no score in this 2017 MidStates Football League Championship game.
Really good game so far. If you like defenses, if you're looking for the big show, not right now. I don't think anybody expected it. I think we all knew it was going to be low scoring, especially if if both the defenses showed up well. So it's playing to how it's supposed to go so far.
And I think, you said a lot too with the offenses being maybe a little bit rusty, a couple of weeks off. You're not used to that, at this point in time in the season. These teams have pretty much been playing week after week after week, other than some holiday breaks and things along those lines. So to have that time without that actual competition, it can be rough to get back into a groove.
And that's the thing. Defenses are just so much easier to get back onto it. You're just coming forward. You're just tackling the guy with the ball. With the offense, there's just so much more to it. It's more about timing. That's why you see in the beginning of the year, teams are, the points don't come. So I think you're seeing a little bit of that. With the Hitmen, it's true to form right now.
3 receivers left, 1 off to the right on a 3rd and goal from the 6-yard line for the Hitmen. Kelly has David Welch to his right. Kelly may be audibly.
He sees something.
And maybe audibly again here. Kelly wipes his hands extended, takes the snap, looking to his left, now to his right, rolls out to his right, running out of real estate, fires a bullet. Jerry Hammonds, touchdown. Hitmen, the first score of the game. And it goes from Dylan Kelly to Jerry Hammonds, and for Hammonds on the season, his 3rd touchdown reception, and the Hitmen lead 6-0 with 12:23 to play in the first half.
Don, by rolling out that line, by rolling out the running back and setting it up with the second play of this series, forced that linebacker to tail him, and then you had that under route, which was right open for him.
So the 6-yard TD pass, the 11th of the season for Kelly. Actually, check that. That's the 12th of the season for Kelly. And Hearn on for the extra point to try and put the Hitmen up 7-0. Snap is a little high. They get it down. The kick is away, and it is through. So TJ Hearn makes it 7-0 here in the second quarter, and the Wisconsin Hitmen strike first, and it was a short field that, interesting decision by Andre Locke. Went back to punt with him standing at pretty much his own goal line. Does a little shovel pass when he's running out of real estate, and the Ducks just couldn't move it any further. Hitmen, nice play, nice tackle. Don't want to overlook that by Anthony Evans, because if he doesn't make that tackle, there might have been a chance on that play.
Yeah, and that is the last thing you do for a struggling offense. You don't give them a hand. You make them come 60, 70 yards. You don't give them a 20-yard field.
So coming from your background playing and such, is that a player who is on an offense that is normally clicking, just trying to do too much and being kind of baited into a bad decision there, Steve?
Yeah, it's an athlete that's pretty much been able to do a lot. And, you have to have confidence, especially as a quarterback. You have to have confidence in yourself. And you know what? The kid could do it. He just got tackled. It happens. But sometimes you have to trust in your coaching. You have to trust in your team. Your defense is good. You make him drive the field. Now, if he makes it, we're having a different conversation here. We know the flip side of that. But, you just play the averages.
Miles and Hubbard back deep to receive the kickoff from TJ Hearn. The Hitmen get on the board first. They lead the Ducks 7-0 with 12:23 to play in the first half.
I want to give a shout out to my guy, Ricardo Williams of the Rico Report.
Hearn's kick, a short line drive kick. It's going to hit at the 15, bounce away from Miles. He picks it up at the 11 on the near numbers. The 20, 25, 30 has a lane. Miles could go the whole way. 50, Hearn to beat. 40, did Hearn get enough of them? Yes, he did. TJ Hearn just got enough of Miles to push him out of bounds at the 23-yard line. A nice return by Miles as that goes down for
out, Don.
60 yards. Yep, back at the 23.
I didn't think he went out, but I wasn't down there, but it looked like it was good to me.
So a 66-yard return by Miles.
I don't know.
He was dancing that sideline. Hard to tell from up here.
Yeah, it's easy to call from up here.
Regardless, the Ducks have it 1st and 10 at the Muskego Hitmen 28-yard line, so the last couple of drives for each team have started deep in their opponent's territory.
That's the basics of football. When you're on the kickoff team, you stay your lane, and that didn't happen.
3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Andre Locke. 1 back off his left hip.
Watch for a
Back
shot
in there is
downfield.
Chris Williams. He hands it off to Williams. Williams changes directions right up the gut, and Kyle Bowman on the tackle as Williams picks up a yard, maybe 2. Where do they mark him? I think it's going to end up being a yard, and it'll bring up a 2nd down and 9. So Williams, a shiftier back compared to Lassiter, the bruiser here for the Ducks. 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Locke looking to pass this time. Rolling out to his left. He's going to keep it. And coming up from behind is Wes Hicks, and Hicks will take him down at the 20-yard line. It'll be a gain of 7 for Locke and bring up a 3rd down and short. Wes Hicks having a nice game here.
You know, if you're the Ducks right now, you keep your composure. Yeah, you know, was he in, was he out? The refs are right there. They got the call, so you just go ahead and be who you are. And you're seeing it in the running game.
The Hitmen rush in a little bit more beef as they bring in Cordell Grant on that line, and now bringing in another larger defender in Rome Jones. With it a 3rd and 2 at the 20-yard line for the Chi-City Ducks. They need to get to the 18 for a 1st down. And now we have a whistle and a timeout taken, and it is going to be Chi-City timeout. So Chi-City takes the timeout. It looks like 11.
Yeah, it looks like 11.
But it was interesting that Chi-City took the timeout with all the confusion by the Wisconsin Hitmen on defense. You think you'd be trying to take advantage of that one, Steve?
Yeah, I mean, it clearly looked that the Hitmen were shuffling guys in. They had a defensive lineman come in late. You had the corner playing at least 5 yards off the ball. You only need 3 yards to go.
So 10:47 to play in our first half. It's a 7-zip Wisconsin Hitmen lead over the Chi-City Ducks in the 2017 MidStates Football League Championship game. We've said it at the outset. There will be a new champion here tonight in the MidStates Football League. Neither one of these teams, the Ducks in their first season in the league, the Hitmen came across them probably, about 7-8 years ago or so, and their first opportunity, their first trip to the championship game here.
Last year was the first year in quite some time that the South won it with the Patriots defeating the Door County Destroyers. Ducks are trying to repeat that for the South.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Andre Locke. Locke with a back to his right, and he hands it off to Williams, and Williams up the gut. He's going to be very close to a 1st down. Kyle Bowman looked to be on the tackle for the Hitmen, and was it enough? They might have to measure on this one.
They're going to bring it. They're going to bring him out. No, they're setting the ball.
And they're going to call Roger on and says, "I need a measurement."
Yeah.
So it could be 4th and inches here. It could be a 1st down for Chi-City with 10:26 to play here in the first half. Trying to see if I can get an angle on this ball with my binoculars. They're going to be just short, I think, Steve.
I think they're going.
Yeah, they're going to be a couple links short, and they are literally the silver link, of the chain short.
Now does Locke take it under center and just fall forward, or are they going to come out into the traditional shotgun?
How much does Locke go under center, as far as you?
Not at all. You got to think they bring in Lassiter and just go for the, the 1 yard.
Yeah, Lassiter, 11, 9, 4 2-yard carries here in the game thus far. A lot of beef with Lassiter in there. Lassiter, 6 foot 260. And they do have him in there. He's going to be to the left of Locke. Twin receivers each way. The Hitmen with a lot of guys in the middle here.
Coming under center.
And now Locke is going to go under center. And Locke is going to take it, and he stretches it out, and then falls down, and they're going to give him a yard.
He's got to have. He has that.
Yeah, they gave him a yard on that one. So before he was taken down, right away he stretched that
Yeah.
ball out, which is very dangerous to do in that situation, but a gain of a yard for Locke and picks up the first down. That is the 4th first down of the game for Chi-City, all of them on the ground. So it'll be 1st and 10 at their own or at the Wisconsin 17-yard line.
You know, that's one thing I can't stand seeing when it's 4th and 1 or, 4th and goal on the 1 and the quarterback goes in shotgun. So well played.
Miles out to the left with Ward, 2 receivers to the right. Creekmore along with Whitaker. Locke has Lassiter to his left. Now he moves Creekmore from the right side to the left side, just off the line. Tight end position, but a yard back. Takes the snap, fakes the handoff to Lassiter, skims over to his left, gets away from Hicks, running around in the backfield, and then he's just going to throw it away as he was running into trouble, being harassed by Marty Olivo, and Wes Hicks throws it out of bounds, and it will bring up a 2nd down and 10, and now the official's going to talk about whether that should be grounding or not, but he did look to get outside and it looked like he got outside the tackle box on that one.
Yeah, it looked like a clean play. Good job by the Hitmen from keeping him contained, from getting the edge.
Wes Hicks getting a lot of pressure in the backfield here tonight. Also a couple of tackles, an assisted tackle, along with a sack already for Hicks.
Not a lot of luck in the air right now for the Ducks.
2nd and 10 from the 17-yard line. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Andre Locke. Lassiter off to his right. This Hitmen defense shut down the Racine Raiders passing game in the championship game of the Richhart Conference. A handoff to Lassiter, and Lassiter will bulldoze ahead down to the 15-yard line. A gain of a couple, and Marty Olivo on the tackle for the Wisconsin Hitmen. So a gain of 1, it looks like they're going to give them, and it'll bring up a 3rd down and 9 now for Chi-City. Chi-City started this drive at the 28-yard line. About 4 minutes they've used up as we're at the 8:45 mark here in the first half. Two receivers off to the left, 2 to the right, 2 to the left, bunch close together just off the line. Now receiver in motion, slot left to the right side. Locke takes the snap, low, he rolls out to his right. Locke looking to pass, pump fakes. Now he's going to take it. Locke the 10, and he falls down to the 8-yard line. That contact initially made by George Rainey. And a flag down back at the 18-yard line in the area of holding.
There's Ducks are signaling it's against the Hitmen.
So Locke got down near the first down. Be an interesting decision. They may want a measurement on this one.
Do we know what the flag is, or they pick it up?
No, flag still. They're still talking about it, but they are talking to the Ducks, it looks like. And it's close to a first down. Ball all the way on the other side of the field. They need to get inside the 8. I think they're going to be just a little bit short. Depends on the penalty here. Oh, it's a personal foul, so you're going to take this one, a face mask. And that is the first penalty against the Hitmen, and that will be a half the distance penalty, so it'll go from the 16-yard line to about the 8. So it'll be an automatic first down. It'll be 1st and goal for the Ducks from the 8-yard line of Wisconsin.
Terrible time to have that penalty. And as you know, no longer is there the face mask of the 5-yard variety. You grab it at 15.
So 3 receivers to the right. Tight end on the left side of the line is Creekmore for the Ducks. Lassiter, the back in the backfield. Locke working out of the shotgun. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line of the Hitmen. Hitmen lead 7-zip, 7:45 to play in the second quarter. Handoff. Lassiter, nowhere, no gain. Crawl on the tackle for the Hitmen again. And I'm running out of room to write his tackles down already, and we're not even through the first half.
Tell you what, man, this Hitmen defense, they are the real deal. It's the first time I'm seeing them, at this length this year. I've seen them in snippets, but doing a really nice job here.
7 carries, 27 yards for Lassiter as he will check out of the game, and Phil Soul Jr. will come in. Soul 16 carries, 117 yards on the season.
Phil's a big boy.
3 receivers off to the right, tight end on the left side of the line. Locke looking things over. Takes the snap. Rolls out instantly to his left. Looks like a keeper. Pump fakes at the 5, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 3-yard line. The tackle on the far side of the field by Anthony Evans. And it will be a gain of 6 on the play and bring up a 3rd and goal from the 3.
Looked like a nice designed quarterback run there.
So 3rd and goal, ball at the 3-yard line. Chi City trying to tie the game up, or at least give an opportunity to. They trail 7-zip with 6.5 minutes to play in our first half. Long time in the huddle here for Locke.
40-second clock isn't running right now. It is here.
Miles will break out to the left side. Soul will also be on the left side. He'll be in an H-back role. Locke is going to go under center here with Lassiter as the deep back. Ward, the receiver, on the right side of the formation. Tight end on the right side, and Creekmore.
We're running out of time, Don. Ref signaling.
And the Hitmen come on a blitz, and we have a delay of game. They didn't get it off in time, so another penalty against the Ducks. That is their 5th penalty now for 35 yards that's been accepted against them in the game.
For those of you viewing at home, when you see that referee put his hand up, that back judge, it's 10 seconds, and once he gets to 5, he'll start counting it off. If you're a quarterback, a lot of them aren't trained to watch that, but that's something you got to keep an eye on.
So ball back at the 8-yard line, a 3rd and goal from the 8. So if you look at the glass half full, you have more room to operate down here, right, Steve?
Yeah.
Miles off to the left. Whitaker to the right. Creekmore, the tight end, on the right side of the formation. Soul, the H-back, on the right side. Deep back is Lassiter as Locke gets under center. Locke pitches to Lassiter. Lassiter trying to get outside, nowhere to go.
Nice job.
Initial contact by George Rainey, also Carlos Rattler on the tackle. It's going to be a gain of 1 and bring up a 4th and goal from the 7, and it looks like the Ducks are going to try for the field goal here to get on the board.
That's one thing this year with the MSFL, there's been a plethora of good kickers, which is not really the norm at this level, but the Raiders kicker, Patriots have a great one. The Hitmen had a good one, and now, the Ducks, you said, I think 30 is as long?
Gonzalez 3 for 3 on the season, 33 is as long. Locke will be the holder. This will be a 25-yard attempt, middle of the field, wind at his back. Snap is there, hold is down, kick is away, and
good.
It was good. So the 25-yard attempt by Carlos Gonzalez with 4:28 remaining in the first half pulls the Ducks to within 4. 7-3, they trail the Hitmen.
I think the big thing right now is that one bad play, the special teams, and then you have to stop making these little 5 to 10-yard penalties. You're on the 3-yard line. You got a quarterback that probably beat anybody in the corner, and then you take that away when 5 yard for delay of game.
And just when you have the offense that the Ducks have, and you start at your opponent's 28 to only get 3 points out of that, that's a win for the Hitmen.
It really is, yeah.
It was inches from being 6 on the ensuing kickoff. Yep. Miles almost broke that. Just Hearn was able to get enough to get him out of bounds, and so credit TJ Hearn. He's kept his team in the lead right now.
Yeah. If you're the Hitmen, you got to feel pretty good right now. I think a lot of people, if you read the message boards and go on the different, I don't know, they're even called message boards anymore. I think a lot of people were calling for a blowout here, and I think if you watched the Hitmen, you knew it wasn't going to be. They're doing a nice job. That defense is for real.
Donnell Price back deep along with Alex Wilson for the Wisconsin Hitmen.
Must be wearing 84. Baldwin's 84.
So check that, Maurice Baldwin wearing 84, we were just told. So he's back deep. This one will go to Price. Price muffs it at the 15-yard line, picks it up at the 12, across the 20, the 25, spins out of a tackle.
Nice
flag
job.
comes in late. Price got up to the 25 and see what the flag is.
Didn't look like there was anybody around for holding, but it's usually what it is on the on special teams.
Antonio Davis looked to be the tackler for the Tri-City Ducks. And a block in the back against the Hitmen, so it'll push them back. And when your offense is struggling or tends to struggle like the Hitmen do, once again, you shoot yourself in the foot with these. And they'll start with it at their own. They're going to mark them back at their 13-yard line.
Right now, if you're the Hitmen, you know, and you never want a coach to not make a mistake, but right now you want to get the first down and just go from there because you can't turn the ball over here, obviously, and you can't go backwards.
I will say that in the Richhart Conference Championship game, the Hitmen had 2 drives start outside of their 20-yard line, and they still won that game 19-3. So they have been able to overcome mistakes like this in bad field position. Kelly has Bland to his left, 1 receiver each way. Tight end on the right side of the line, Catarucci in motion, slot right to the left. Handoff goes to Bland. Bland lowers a shoulder. He'll pick up a yard to the 15-yard line. His first carry of the game.
This Duck defense just plays so well together. Great communication. You tell they've been playing, you know, with one another for a long time. You know, when you have familiarity with one another, you don't have to communicate. You know what one another's going to do, and you can tell the Ducks have that.
Sabs with the tackle for the Tri-City Ducks. 2nd down and 9 for the Hitmen. 3:40 to play in our first half. The Hitmen lead the Ducks 7-3 in the MSFL championship game. Catarucci out to the right side, off to the left is Baldwin. Catarucci moves to the slot on the left side. Kelly fakes the handoff and then has Carney wide open at the 30-yard line. And Carney, it was underthrown, but he did nothing to come back to it. He just kept backpedaling, hoping it would fall in the breadbasket, and it didn't.
Yeah, it looked like he had a really bad read on that ball, Don. It looked like that was catchable.
Number 24, Christopher Boone in the coverage.
One of those where you need to be aware of where the ball is, right, Steve? And the officials telling the Ducks, you need to step back. So a 3rd down and 9 for the Hitmen. They need to get out to the 24-yard line to move the chains here. 2 receivers each way for Kelly. Bland to his right in the backfield. Kelly working out of the shotgun. Kelly takes. Looking, throwing, Catarucci makes the catch, and he's taken down at the 25-yard line. That will be enough for a first down as he picks up 10 on the play.
Nice job there, Don, going to your spot, planting the flag, knowing where you're at, and getting that first down.
Number 37, Troy Talaga.
And so just the 2nd first down of the game for the Wisconsin Hitmen. But they lead 7-3 with 2:50 to play here in the first half. 2 receivers each way this time for Kelly. Bland to his left. Kelly ready, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws, hits Sane in the flat, and
nice
Sane
job.
taken down immediately. The tackle made by Chris Durr. Good job by Durr fighting the slightly larger Sane, and that will go for a loss of 4 back to the 21-yard line.
I don't know if that was a better defensive play or a worse block. But nice job up on the corner. Really good job.
So Sane with 3 catches for 3 yards in the game after losing 4 on that one.
You wonder if the Hitmen are going to take a shot here. I don't think they've made an attempt past 10 yards yet.
Second down and 14, back at their 21-yard line. They send trips to the right, and now we've reached the 2-minute warning. So at the 2-minute warning in the Mid-States Football League Championship game, we have a 7-3 Wisconsin Hitmen lead over the Chi-City Ducks. The Hitmen winners of the Richhart Conference, and the Chi-City Ducks winners of the Thomas Conference. And I know the Thomas Conference, with your affiliation with the Thunder and Terry Thomas, an honor for him to remember him by as we lost Terry.
Yeah, I was thinking on my way here, this would probably be the first championship game that he's not watching in 26 years. Even last year, listening to the game, my phone was blowing up as he was swearing from the hospital room watching the game. So, he loved this level. He loved this sport. I think sometimes some guys take it for granted. But for everybody that's out there today, I hope you know how lucky you are to be doing what you love to do. A lot of guys don't have that opportunity. And that's something Terry preached, and it was a great honor for the league to do that. On the Richhart side, a lot of people don't know Delane Richhart. What he did is he dropped his team. He had the Titans at the time. The MidStates Football League was disbanded. It came back, and it didn't look really good. Delane took it over, and he was able to get the team back on its feet to where we are now. I'm sorry, the league back on the feet to where we are now, and he's a great man as well.
And that was starting, 2005?
Yeah.
So coming out of the 2-minute warning, Hitmen have 2 receivers to the right. Check that, 3 to the right, 1 off to the left for Dylan Kelly. Bland the back to his left, blitz coming. Here comes Talaga. Bland picks it up initially. Kelly hit right after he launches the ball, looking for Catarucci down the far sideline. Incomplete. Talaga giving a big chase there to Dylan Kelly, and then coming in and hitting him as he released it was Sabs.
That wasn't early?
So it'll bring up a 3rd down and 14 for the Wisconsin Hitmen. Ball back at their own 21-yard line. They lead 7-3, 1:54 to play in our first half. The Hitmen with 2 timeouts remaining, the Ducks with just 1. So now if you're the Hitmen, do you just run it and force the Ducks to either use that timeout or watch the clock wind down?
Yeah, you run it. And I'm surprised they didn't do it, when they had the ball. Get out with the 7-3 lead.
3 receivers right, 1 off to the left again for Dylan Kelly. He has Bland to his left. Kelly takes, good hard count by Dylan Kelly and gets the Ducks offsides. And the Ducks were pointing towards the Hitmen, but the official that threw the flag is saying, nope.
I think they got him.
Going the Ducks' way. So the Ducks with another penalty.
Good play, good discipline by the offensive line. That's why they are the smartest people on the field.
Let me guess where you played.
Yes, sir.
6 penalties for 40 yards for the Chi-City Ducks here in the first half. This will move the ball up to where it'll be a little more manageable. Bring up a 3rd down and 9 for the Hitmen.
Hitmen are what, 1 for 15 in penalties?
Yeah, 2 for 18.
2 for 18, okay.
Yeah, the face mask only went for 8 because it was a half the distance. So a 3rd and 9 from the 26-yard line for the Hitmen, their own. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left for Kelly. He has Bland in the backfield. Just 1:54 to play in our first half of the MSFL championship game. Kelly, quick pass in the flat, hits his receiver Hammonds, and Hammonds is tied up right away. Believe that was Christopher Boone on the tackle, and Hammonds maybe picks up 2 yards, but they keep the clock running here as they get it up to the 29-yard line, and Kelly has now completed his last 3 passes in the game.
The Ducks have what, two remaining?
1 remaining timeout for the Ducks, yep.
I don't know, I'd stop it here if I was the Ducks. Well, I would have stopped it 25 seconds ago.
So the Hitmen get a little breathing room. Started this drive back at their 13-yard line. Got out to the 28 here. Now TJ Hearn to punt as the Hitmen have to run a player on late. Miles, the man back deep. He's standing at about his 35-yard line, middle of the field to return. Oh, Hearn has to pick that one up off the turf. Does a really nice job. Miles comes up, he muffs it, and the ball is loose, and it looks like the Ducks were able to recover. At the 47-yard line, who was able to jump on that ball, and that was Spencer Blank Jones. for the Ducks.
Hitmen
And
had
they
a
will
shot
have it
at
at the
it.
47.
That right there was a guy trying to make a play. He had a run back that was called back. Well, I'm sorry, he was out of bounds, and he was going for it.
So the Ducks have it in good starting field position here, but not much time. They do have a timeout remaining. They have it at their own 47-yard line with 58 seconds to go in our first half, trailing by 4, 7-3 in this MidStates Football League title game.
One thing Terry used to say all the time is you can't put the car in third if the key isn't in the ignition. Got to get the ball first.
3 receivers left, 1 to the right. That's Whitaker. Chris Williams off the right hip of Andre Locke. 7-3 the Hitmen lead. Ducks with 1 timeout remaining, just under a minute to go in the first half. Locke takes, fakes a handoff, has plenty of time, looking deep, throwing deep, and overthrowing his intended receiver. Nice coverage out there for the Hitmen by Jacob Schuyler, who is playing a deep safety position. It was intended for Andre Ward, and it falls incomplete, 2nd and 10. Andre Locke just 2 of 8 in the game for -3 yards passing.
Yeah, it's not. He is more of a running quarterback, but he does have a great arm. He does. He's pretty accurate. They're just doing. The Hitmen are a great defense. We said that from the start.
They'll send trips off to the left again. 1 receiver to the right is Whitaker. 2nd down and 10, 50 seconds to play here in the first half. Ducks do have 1 timeout remaining. Locke looking. Locke steps up, throwing to the sideline. Whitaker makes the catch. What a pass. Whitaker turned around. That ball was right on him, and that will go for a pickup of 13 and a first down.
Good job. You take what you get.
The first passing first down of the game for the Ducks. Now in Hitmen territory at the 40, got out of bounds, so the clock stops with about 44 seconds left to play. Williams to the left of Locke, who's in the shotgun. 3 receivers off to the left side. Fakes the handoff to Williams, looking, throwing to the sideline, and the catch is made, and that is Ward, who goes out of bounds inside the 30 at the 28-yard line, a gain of 12 and another first down.
Nice job with just about 4 seconds off the clock. So
7th first down of the game for the Chi-City Ducks. 7-3, the Hitmen lead with 38 seconds to play here in the first half. Ball now set up at the 29-yard line of the Wisconsin Hitmen. Ducks flip the formation, 3 receivers right, 1 to the left now for Andre Locke. They've been able to work to the sideline. Now the Hitmen come up to play more man. Williams is going to come out of the backfield. Locke looking, middle of the field, Miles sliding catch, can't come up with it at the 2, and a flag comes out away from the play up at the 15-yard line, and this could be a holding against Yaffe Harvey. Check that, DeMarcus Mitchell, I believe, is going to get called for holding.
Yeah.
And 5 yards and a free first down here for the Ducks, just the 3rd penalty of the half for the Hitmen, 3 for 23 yards, and the 8th first down of the game for the Ducks, the 2nd via the penalty.
Don, it's not a bad penalty to take either at this point. If a guy's getting away from you, grab him. With just the 5 yards, at this point, distance isn't a big deal. Better than giving up 7.
Ball now at the 24-yard line of the Hitmen. 32 seconds left to play in our first half. The Ducks trailing by 4. They'll have the kickoff in the second half. They'll be kicking off to the Hitmen. 2 receivers each way for Locke. Back to his right. And now going off sides is Wes Hicks. Once you get that body going in motion, you're not going to slow it down.
Yeah.
I know that. I hate going into second base when you have to run hard. And then they want us fat guys to slide. I don't think that's fair.
In fact, the fat people aren't going down if they have to get up.
So 4th penalty of the half for the Hitmen.
31 seconds. Plenty of time.
And they still have that one timeout in their back pocket. So they still have the whole field. You saw that there with going for Miles at the 2-yard line, knowing that they have that timeout.
1st and 5 from the 19.
2 receivers will go off to the right, 2 to the left for Locke. Locke having a long discussion with his slot receiver Miles on the left side. Williams to the right of Andre Locke in the backfield. Man defense here by Wisconsin, and it's complete. Going out of bounds inside the 15-yard line was Miles. He takes it down to the 13-yard line, and it's a 1st down for the Ducks, and he gets out of bounds.
26 seconds. Flag on the play, late flag. That's not good. That's usually personal. Something
And
to come back late.
Foster over there. Did he get hit out of bounds late? It looked like Miles may have been struck a little late. Foster for the Hitmen, signaling towards that official. And it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct against Foster, so that'll be half the distance and another 1st down for the Ducks. So that'll move them down to, where are they going to put it, the 6-yard line. And it's going to be a 1st and goal for the Ducks. Their 10th 1st down of the game now, and they have it down at the 6-yard line of Wisconsin. Trying to take the lead. The Ducks trail by 4. 26 seconds to play here in the 1st half. They have 1 timeout remaining. Miles in motion, slot left over to the right side. Fakes the handoff. Locke throwing, and it's batted down at the line. Are they saying it's a fumble? Did the ball come?
The Hitmen are saying nothing from the refs yet.
And the officials are going to discuss this one. Locke says my arm was in motion. The officials are discussing. Carlos Rattler is talking. Now the Ducks are coming out saying incomplete pass.
And that's the problem with this level. There is no instant replay.
So it'll bring up a 2nd down and goal that ends 3 straight completions by Andre Locke. Prior to that, he had only had 2 completions in the game coming into this drive. So it'll be a 2nd and goal for Chi-City from the 6-yard line. 17 seconds left to go here in the 1st half. Ducks do have 1 timeout remaining. They're going to go empty the backfield.
Watch the
4
draw.
receivers to the left, 1 to the right for Andre Locke.
Watch it draw.
Hitmen confused on the left side. Locke looking to his right. Pump fakes. Locke. Sidearm throw. Diving catch. Touchdown Ducks.
Nice play.
And it was Whitaker who comes down with it. A 6-yard touchdown pass from Locke to Whitaker with 12 seconds to play, and the Ducks take a 9-7 lead.
And you have to wonder with that last Hitman round of plays, do you just go run the ball 3 times, make them exhaust their timeout, and try to get it in a half at 7-3?
Coming on for the extra point will be Gonzalez to try and extend the lead to a field goal. Locke and Whitaker, they team up for the 11th time this season. Whitaker had 10 TD catches coming into this game. Bad snap. Locke stands up. He's rolling out to his right, buying time. He's just going to throw it across the field. Nobody in the middle of the field, but it's going to be incomplete, and now 2 flags come down.
I think they're going to get him. I hear somebody say defensive hold, but I think they're going to get him for an illegal block in the back.
We have 2 different officials have thrown flags on this one. Roger Anand discussing it. The Ducks walking off the field, so it doesn't look like they think they're going to get another opportunity here. So it looks like you're right here, Steve. I think I saw an initial indication from Roger Anand of a hold. Oh, ineligible downfield against the Ducks. And a block in the back against the Ducks. Both of them declined. And with 12 seconds left to play in the first half, the Ducks have taken the lead, though, 9-7 after a slow start. They've scored 9 straight points to take the lead, and barring a big return by the Hitmen, the Hitmen might be going into the half down by 2. And like you said, their last drive, they had that opportunity to maybe run more time off the clock.
Yeah.
And 12 seconds is something easy to run off the clock, Steve.
I think with this Duck offense, it's just a matter of time before it gets going, and you're starting to see it. So when you have a chance to go in, or more than likely to give them the ball back with, say, 40 seconds left and no timeouts, you take it.
So see what the Ducks do here on the kickoff, with Gonzalez teeing it up. Hitmen do have a couple of return TDs on the season. Levy is back deep along with Donnell Price.
I think it's just squib it here right now. Let it roll around, and then time be out.
9-7, the Ducks just took the lead with 12 seconds to go here in the first half. The Hitmen will have the opportunity to receive the second half kickoff.
There it is.
And the Ducks are offsides. It's fielded by Levy back at the 21-yard line. He breaks it outside up across the 30 to the 33-yard line. A flag is down and offsides against the Ducks with 2 seconds to play, so it'll be a free couple of yards here for the Hitmen, as that didn't quite run all the time off the clock. And they will move it up to the 39-yard line. So the Hitmen a slew of penalties in that first half, something they'll need to clean up here in the coming into the second half. 1.8 seconds on the clock, so a chance for Kelly to maybe heave it deep. For the Hitmen, Catarucci just off the line on the left side.
Looks
No,
like
they're going to go in take the knee here to end the half.
Smart move.
And that's what Kelly does. Takes the knee to end the half. And at the end of the first half, the Ducks lead the Wisconsin Hitmen 9-7 in the MSFL 2017 championship game. We're going to leave you. We'll come back with about 5 minutes left or so, and we'll kind of take a look at some of the unofficial stats from the first half of play and talk about our impressions of the first half. You're listening to watching the MSFL championship game on the MSFL YouTube channel. We'll be back in a little bit. We're at the half of the MSFL championship game. The Tri-City Ducks lead the Wisconsin Hitmen 9-7. Let's take a quick look at our stats here in the game. For the Ducks, Andre Locke, 6 of 13 for 28 yards. He has 1 touchdown. He has lost a fumble. The Ducks with 10 first downs in the first half of play. Locke leads the team in rushing, 7 for 43. Laster with 8 for 28. And Chris Williams with 2 for 6. The leading receiver for the Ducks, 2 catches for 17 yards is Andre Ward. 3 for 11 and a touchdown for Denzel Whitaker, and 1 for 12 for Miles. The Ducks trailed 7-zip. They got their first points with 4:28 to play in the first half. Gonzalez, a 25-yard field goal, made it 7-3. And then with just 12 seconds left to play, locked to Whitaker for 6 yards. There was a bad snap on the extra point attempt. It was 9-7 as we went into the half. For the Wisconsin Hitmen, 5 of 8 for Dylan Kelly. Check that, 6 of 9 for Dylan Kelly for 21 yards. 3 catches for just 3 yards for Jonathan Sane, 1 for 10 for Catarucci, and 2 for 8 and a touchdown for Hammonds. Just 2 first downs in the first half for the Wisconsin Hitmen. They led much of the first half, 7-zip, with 12:23 to play in the second quarter. It was Kelly to Hammonds for a 6-yard TD, Hearn with the extra point. 7-0 was the score, but then 8 minutes later, that's when the Ducks would get the field goal, and then they'd score the touchdown just before the half. Rushing-wise, the Hitmen haven't been able to get much going. 2 for 8 yards for David Welch. 1 for 1 yard for Jeremy Bland. 2 for 1 yard for Dylan Kelly. 2 for -2 yards for Jared Quirio. And 1 for -6 yards for Jerry Hammonds in the contest. Receiving, check that penalty-wise. For the Wisconsin Hitmen, they had 5 penalties in the first half for 34 yards. They did recover a fumble, but they couldn't go anywhere on that drive. The Ducks, that's got to be one concern for Chi-City. They had a lot of penalties in that first half of play, as they had 7 accepted penalties against them and 10 total penalties for 45 yards. So that's a measure of concern for Chi-City. But we're just about ready for the second half of play. I want to thank you for joining us here on the MSFL YouTube channel. I want to thank Steve Sliwka, who's been my partner in crime, Ivan Ortega, who's been on the camera. Know we had a few difficulties as we got started here this evening, but we have those all figured out now. Also, Jeremy Wazrick, if you're following on Facebook, all the social media posts have been coming from Jeremy, so I want to thank him for his work on social media. Steve, your thoughts on the first half of play?
Well, if you're the Hitmen, nice job on defense, but your offense, you have to step up. I mean, Ducks are going. They're starting to move. They're starting to feel it. You're going to have to, if not come down and score, you got to establish some kind of rhythm just to show your defense that you're there.
The Hitmen will get the chance to start off with the ball first here in the second half. It'll be Foster back deep along with Donnell Price. As Gonzalez tees it up for the Ducks, they'll be kicking off from right to left as we start our third quarter of play, a 2-point game in the 2017 MidStates Football League title game. There will be a new champion in the MidStates Football League. Neither of these teams have won an MSFL title. The Ducks coming off a Gridiron Football League title last year before they moved to the MSFL. The Hitmen, their first championship game appearance. A squib kick. It's going to be picked up at the 27-yard line by Junior Combs. Combs finds a little bit of space up to the 35-yard line before he's drilled back. They might give him forward progress here to the 36. And it'll be 1st and 10 there for the Hitmen. A little bit of a skirmish to get things started here in the second half. See where the officials mark it.
30 minutes to a championship. Close game. Tempers are flaring.
And it will be 1st and 10 for the Wisconsin Hitmen at their own 35-yard line.
Nice crowd here tonight, Don.
Yeah, got probably a few hundred people here.
Yeah, not bad.
It's about for the Hitmen, they play just down the road from my house up in Milwaukee. So for those folks, about a 2-hour, little more than 2-hour commute here. 2 receivers break off to the left. Now they're going to send 3 off to the left. Tight end on the right side of the formation. David Welch will be in the backfield. I believe that's Jerry Hammonds to the right of Dylan Kelly, as they now have 2 receivers out to the right. And the handoff to Welch, and Welch powers his way ahead across the 35 to the 37-yard line. A good first down run. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 7.
And if you're the Hitmen, that's what you got to do. You got to lean on your big men and start opening up some holes and get forward, like we were talking earlier, 3-4 yards, get your first down.
And interesting that they moved the chains over to this side. In the league this year, it was supposed to be chains on the far side from the press box the whole time. 2 receivers to the left. Going to be a little harder to spot those first downs for you. Tight end on the right side of the formation for Kelly. Kelly takes, once again, gives to Welch, and Welch goes off left tackle across the 40, and there's going to be a late hit. A roughing against the Ducks here up to the 42-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4 on the play, but it's going to result in a first down as Talaga got in there. And right away, the Ducks, the penalties were an Achilles heel for him in the first half, and it starts off with a big one here in the second half, giving the Hitmen a first down.
And that's an easy call when you hit the quarterback when he hands it off.
And that will move it into Chi-City territory, down inside their 45-yard line. They'll mark it down at the 43, so a 1st and 10 for the Hitmen. Now working in the Ducks territory, just over a minute gone here in the third quarter. The Hitmen trail by 2 and have the ball for the opening for the Hitmen. 2 backs in the backfield as Kelly works out of the pistol formation. Kelly takes, gives to Welch, and Welch is going to be upended in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of a couple back to the 45-yard line.
Nice strong tackle there.
And Spencer Blank Jones with the tackle for loss of a couple of yards for the Chi-City Ducks. It'll be 2nd down and 12 for the Wisconsin Hitmen. Hitmen with what wind there is at their back. It's coming up at about 8 miles an hour here. Beautiful night for football. Nice fall
really
night.
Is, yeah.
Towards the end of summer. Catarucci out to the left, trips to the right. Mike Hill will be to the right of Dylan Kelly as he steps into a shotgun formation on 2nd and 12.
Ducks are coming.
Kelly takes. Flag comes out immediately, hits Sane, and Sane loses the football. Ball is loose, and it's going to be
Ducks
recovered
ball.
by the Ducks at
Looks
the
like
38-yard line.
Don.
Yep, we'll have to see. And
now
the
they're
officials.
walking off.
And Sane is hurt.
South sides.
And it's going to go against the Ducks, and the takeaway will be nullified. And Jonathan Sane slow to get up as he got hit kind of high-low there.
Yeah. Good sign, though. He's up. He has to leave for a play at least.
And so once again, the Ducks with penalties.
Yeah, it looked like the linebacker came off early.
So Wisconsin gets away with one here.
Yeah, Ivan, we're having video problems. Okay.
So it'll be a free 5 yards for the Hitmen on the offsides. So right away, 2 penalties for 20 yards on this opening drive against the Ducks for the Hitmen. Trips off to the right, 1 receiver to the left for Kelly, working out of the shotgun again with Mike Hill to his right. Kelly takes, looking to pass, looking for Catarucci, and Catarucci, excellent coverage, and maybe too good. Flag comes out.
Oh, if that's defensive interference, that was a bad call. That looked like a clean play to me.
I believe that was Quentin Hicks on the coverage for the Ducks, and the Ducks are going to pick up their 3rd penalty.
Unless they get him on a holding.
Looks like a 3rd penalty against the Ducks on this Hitmen drive. And they do get him for a hold.
Yeah, that I could see.
But for the Ducks now, 10 penalties for 70 yards in the game.
Now, if you're the Hitmen, you go on 2 or 3 right now and try to take advantage of that emotion.
And the Hitmen with their 2nd first down of this drive, both via the penalty. Kelly looking to pass, looking to his right, now under pressure, rolling to his right. Kelly looking downfield, firing towards the sideline. Nice grab.
Wait, nice.
At the 16, 17-yard line, the catch is made. And trying to see who that was that came up with it. That was Jerry Hammonds catching the 17-yard completion.
That was a very
first
smart
down.
football play. Knew where he was, got his 2 feet in.
So a 1st and 10 for the Hitmen at the 17-yard line of the Ducks with 12 minutes to play in the third quarter. 3 receivers off to the left, 1 to the right. Rick Levy all alone on the right side, near side of the field. Hill to the right of Dylan Kelly. Kelly takes a snap, and he's going to take it himself, and Kelly dives forward down to the 12-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of 4 and bring up 2nd down and 6. $11:20 to play in our third quarter. 9-7. Tri-City leads. They've scored 9 unanswered late in the second half. Hitmen took the lead about 2.5 minutes into the second quarter. And then the Ducks scored 9. Touchdown coming just 12 seconds before halftime. David Welch now in the backfield next to Dylan Kelly. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left for Kelly. A 2nd down and 6. Kelly gives to Welch. Welch dancing around the backfield, and Welch finding a little bit of room down to the 10-yard line. Pickup of 3 on the play, and it'll leave about a 3rd and 3 for the Hitmen.
Now, Don was, I know Trevor York was a player with the Chargers this year. Did he play with the Hitmen last year?
I believe, yeah, he was with the Hitmen last year and then went over to the Chargers this year, yes. York, a guy that's been around, Lake Geneva Generals.
Yeah. Good running back still.
Twin receivers for Kelly. He'll have Welch to his left. 3rd and about 3 here for the Hitmen, and now we're going to have a timeout, and the Ducks take the timeout on defense, their first timeout here in the second half. They lead 9-7, 10 minutes to play in our third quarter. The Hitmen with a big 3rd down here. They're in field goal range of TJ Hearn, and that's all they need at this point in time to take the lead in this one, Steve.
And I think you got to be elated if you're the Hitmen. You did a nice job. Yeah, there was some benefit by penalties, but the other team committed them. I mean, you're doing a nice job. You're playing disciplined ball, and you've marched down the field. So that's what you want. Yeah, of course you want the touchdown, but you have a good field goal kicker, and you got to get something when you come this close.
Hello, everybody. Dan Wadewitz, Steve Sliwka. Behind the camera there is Ivan Ortega. Hopefully he doesn't keep that on us too much, because we want to keep you watching. We don't want to lose you here. And looking at 2 fat, furry guys probably isn't the best thing.
Unless
could turn it to a skinny, furry guy if Ivan would turn the camera on himself. But great facilities here. This is, the Chicago Thunder. We're going to become the Joliet Thunder. Not to bring up something that might be a sore spot for you, Steve, but you guys had this all arranged to play here.
Yeah, we did. We had a real nice deal here, and we had it permitted for liquor. The reason why we didn't have it tonight is because we just didn't have a permit tonight. But still a great night, great stadium.
2 receivers each way for Kelly on a 3rd and 3. Kelly looking to pass. Quick throw, and the catch is made at the 5-yard line. That'll be enough for a first down, a pickup of 5 as he completes that one to Rick Levy.
I'd like to thank Blaine Klein from the Joliet Park District for helping us out and getting this stadium for tonight. Beautiful place. I'd also like to thank the MidStates Football League partners for coming out here and representing tonight. I think we have Jim McClendon from the Patriots on the clock. We've got, who are the gentlemen for the Raiders working the booth?
Clyde Freeling along with Rick Bindle.
We also have representatives from the Door County Destroyers working the field, and members of the Leiden Lions as well. So it's great to see when the league comes together on such a big event.
So a 1st and goal from the 5-yard line for the Hitmen, trying to regain the lead. 2 receivers to the left, tight end Becker on the right side of the formation. Kelly in the pistol. The pitch goes off to Welch. Welch cuts up field, and somebody got him by the ankle.
Linebacker filled in. Can't see a number in there.
Coming off the pile, looked to be maybe DeAndre Mosley on that one. And no gain on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd and goal from the 5.
I think Mosley definitely could have been a MVP candidate. I wrote an article about that. I think it's time for offensive linemen to get a little nod too.
That's somebody's name who we haven't called a whole lot here. The Hitmen offensive line have done a good job.
Well, a lot of times what Mosley will do is he'll drop back and read instead of rushing every play. That's what he was a big asset against a guy like Tony in the South Championship game.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Kelly. Kelly rolls out to his right, looking downfield, under pressure, throwing, and it's intercepted. Picked off in the end zone by the Ducks. And with the interception is Christopher Boone for Chi City, and he'll return it up to the 15-yard line, and that is a bad decision.
Yeah.
You're in field goal range, and then you give it right back.
One of the worst outcomes you can have. If you're the quarterback, that you take the ball and you chuck that thing as far out of bounds as you can.
And that ends a 6 straight completion streak for Dylan Kelly.
It was, there were 3 Ducks there. You just take it as a no gain, throw it out into the track, and come back and fight again.
So Chi City keeps the Hitmen off the board, and that was a drive that started all the way back at the Hitmen 35-yard line. So they went 60 yards on that one and used up almost half the clock, Steve. 7:59 to play here in the 3rd quarter.
And you get nothing for it, and that's unfortunate for the Hitmen.
See what this Ducks offense, if they're starting to get back in gear. They've scored 9 straight. And the handoff and slipping through a tackle is Chris Williams, and Williams will get up to about the 18-yard line, a gain of 3, bring up 2nd down and 7 for Chi City. George Rainey with his 4th tackle of the contest, and the Ducks in a hurry up trying to force that offense into some chemistry here. In motion, Dominique Jackson from the left side over to the slot on the right, giving him trips on the right, tight end on the left side of the formation. Locke looking to pass, steps up, throwing down the sideline, and the catch is made. What an amazing catch down the sideline. And that is Brian Miles that comes down with it. Oh, they're saying incomplete. He stepped out. Didn't have control is what Ivan's signaling to us.
Hitman went for the interception, and
wow, that was it doesn't count, but that was a nice grab that he made of that one.
Talking at halftime with future MSFL Hall of Famer, probably next year, I would guess, George Sierra, brought up with the safety playing so deep for the Hitmen. It's interesting they don't try to look him off to another side and come back. Take a deep shot downfield. That was good, but we'll see if they come back to it.
Trips to the left, 1 receiver to the right. 3rd and 7. Coming out of the backfield will be Williams as they empty it. Locke looking downfield, firing and jumping in there is Yaffe Harvey to knock that ball away. Intended receiver looked to be Denzel Whitaker, and it'll bring up 4th down, and the Ducks will be forced to punt.
I believe last year Harvey was with the Chargers. Am I correct? And I want to say he was I think he was a defensive MVP candidate.
He was a safety. I don't remember if it was the Chargers. I know he was around.
I know he had a lot of picks last year.
So the Ducks, after the interception, can't do much with it. They move it just 3 yards. And now Locke will come on to punt with 7:11 to play in our 3rd quarter. So the Hitmen moved it downfield on their first drive, got picked off in the end zone, did Dylan Kelly, but they hold. Low snap, and Locke gets off a edge-over-edge kick that will go out to midfield where it will be downed. So just a 32-yard punt on that one. Do we have flags? I heard a lot of whistles.
Yeah.
The officials look like they're coming together to talk about something here, but I don't see any yellow on the field.
No.
Apparently there must be. Trying to spot it out there. They're talking to the Hitmen. And they're going to...
I didn't see anything.
They're going to just tack it on. It was an illegal shift.
Huh.
It looks like against the Ducks. So the Ducks now with 75 yards in penalties, and the Hitmen will have it at the Ducks' 45-yard line. Excellent starting field position. Exactly 7 minutes to play here in the third quarter. The Ducks lead 9-7 in the MidStates Football League championship game. Crown a winner here tonight.
First and 10 from the 45.
Caterucci out to the left side, 4 receivers to the right. As the Hitmen empty the backfield for the first time, they're going to line 3 up in a bunch formation right off the line on the right side for Dylan Kelly. The Raiders used to use this play under head coach Jordan Kopak. They stole it from the New England Patriots. Kelly fakes the handoff to Welch coming around and is able to jump down to about the 40-yard line before he's taken down by Troy Talaga. Be a gain of 5 on the play and bring up a 2nd down and 5. The Hitmen rushed just 7 times in the first half. They've already done that here in the third quarter. And now we have a whistle, and one of the Ducks players fell to the ground late.
Cramp. Looked like he's grabbing his leg.
And I believe that looks to be Alpha Ba. That is down for the Ducks as the coaching staff come out. Take a look at Ba.
See, you gotta love the Hitmen lineman right there. That is a true offensive lineman. His second play is stop, you take off your helmet and take a knee. Try to get as much rest as you can.
Adam Lipsky, their center. And looks like they're stretching him out a little bit here. So nothing too serious. It's not warm out there, Steve, but still, when you're exerting as much energy as you are here, playing this game, in this type of game, this is going to happen on occasion.
Yeah, that's why you got to make sure. You know, they say if you start drinking water the night of, you're way too late. You got to start hydrating 2 to 3 days before.
And check that, actually appears to be Blank Jones that comes off the field with the cramp, not Alpha Ba. So a 2nd down and 5 for the Wisconsin Hitmen. 6:27 to play here in our third quarter. The Hitmen trail by 2, but they've been playing a lot of this third quarter on the Duck side of the field. Caterucci all alone to the left. They line up bunch off the right again with 1 receiver, Sane, split out wide to the right. Empty backfield for Kelly. He sends Welch in motion. Fakes the handoff to Welch. Kelly's going to keep it, go off right tackle. And Kelly taken down by Talaga. It'll be a gain of just 1 to the 39-yard line and bring up a 3rd and 4. And Talaga, who only had unofficially 1 tackle and a pass defense in the first half, already with 3 tackles here in the second half of play.
Yeah, and you're starting to see that he's going to get more looks as they start to run the ball more. It's interesting. I think Andrews only had 1 target so far this entire game, and I know he's their big target. Came up big against the Chargers.
He came up big against Racine in both those games as well. Now they flip the formation for Kelly. A 3rd and 4 for the Wisconsin Hitmen. Ball at the 39-yard line of the Tri-City Ducks. Might be in 4-down territory regardless here if you're the Hitmen. Looking, throwing, pass complete, breaking the tackle, and then being taken down is Maurice Baldwin. Baldwin will have enough to pick up the 1st down as they take him down at the 32-yard line, a gain of 7 on the play.
And now you got to wonder, Don, with the old TOP stat, time of possession, is that Duck defense going to start wearing down here?
5 first downs in the second half here in the third quarter already for the Wisconsin Hitmen. They only had 2 in the first half of play.
You already see a lineman with a cramp. You just wonder if that's going to be a factor here.
Caterucci, Sane, and Levy off to the left. They empty it out again. 2 receivers off to the right side. Actually, that's Hammonds. It's Levy over to the right side along with...
Oh, nice.
Baldwin and a big sack. And coming in there's the guy who we said we hadn't seen much, DeAndre Mosley with the sack.
It's my fellow Greyhound right there.
So all the way back to the 40-yard line, a 9-yard loss for Mosley.
And he had an open receiver on the right side. He was eyeing.
So bring up a 2nd and 19 now for the Wisconsin Hitmen. Ball still at the Tri-City 40-yard line. We're at ATI Field at Joliet Memorial Stadium, the 2017 MidStates Football League championship game. Catarucci, Sane, and Hammonds to the left. Levy, along with Baldwin, to the right. They empty the backfield again for Dylan Kelly. Kelly in the shotgun, wipes those hands. Now he's ready, takes a snap, looking, and he hits Levy. Levy slips a tackle at the 34-yard line, will be taken down at the 30-yard line, it looks like. Picks up the yardage from the sack and a couple more, but it'll bring up a 3rd down and 8.
It's a nice play, gets a good chunk of it back.
Levy is 2nd catch here in the second half, 16 yards. But a 3rd and 9 for the Wisconsin Hitmen. Once again, though, probably 4-down territory here.
Yeah. Don, keep an eye on Mosley, too. He's not reading anymore. He's coming every play.
Trips to the left, twins to the right with 2:45 to play in the 3rd quarter. Hitmen trailing the Ducks by 2. Kelly audibly at the line. Might be running out of time here. They've taken a lot of time. He does get the snap off, looking for the home run ball. Down the sideline, the far sideline, looking for Catarucci. A flag came out. Probably going to be a hold down at around the 20-yard line. See what the initial indication is.
Kelly's pass, intended for number 10, Catarucci.
And waiting for Roger Anand. Illegal contact called against the Ducks. So they'll move it 5 yards, and it's going to be an automatic 1st down. So the Ducks with those penalties, that is the 3rd 1st down via penalty here in the 3rd quarter for the Hitmen. Ducks giving them gifts. It's not quite Christmas. 2:26 to play in the 3rd quarter. 9-7 the lead for the Ducks. They scored 9 unanswered points in the 2nd quarter. Catarucci, Sane to the left side. They will keep Welch in the backfield with Kelly. Levy, along with Darius Harris in the slot on the right side. Handoff goes to Welch. Welch, a nice little spin move at the 25-yard line. He'll get down to the 20, and
another
a flag comes in late. 2 of them come in late. Something happened at the line of scrimmage.
2 linemen got tied up. It's going to be interesting who they call it on.
And 2 officials saw that. Personal foul.
Personal.
Unsportsmanlike will be going against the Ducks. So add that on to the end of the run. A gain of 6 on the play for Welch. And an unsportsmanlike conduct against the Ducks will tack on a few more.
Don, if it's me, you'd call a timeout right now. Get your defense together. This is what? How many penalties is this on this drive?
I don't know on this drive. In the game thus far, they've had 13 now. As they move that one down to the 10-yard line. So they're at 90 yards in penalties in the game. The 7th 1st down in this half, 4 of them again via the penalty for the Hitmen. It's 1st and goal for the Hitmen at the 10. They empty the backfield again with 4 receivers to the left. Now Jonathan Sane comes around, fakes a handoff to Sane, and
touchdown.
Levy, touchdown, Hitmen, and he dunks it over the goalpost, and that'll be a flag against the Hitmen on the kickoff, but they take the lead, 13-9 with 2 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter.
Well, if we are going NFL rules, they've stopped flagging the celebrations in the end zone. But
we go by that would
next
be next year.
So next year we'll go. And speaking of next year, if you are a team looking to join a league, the MSFL is the place you want to come. As you see, we play the finest, the two of the best, one from Illinois, one from Wisconsin, and here we are. So this is where you want to be if you are a team out there looking for a home.
Yeah, also if you're interested in sponsoring the league, or if you have a team that's in your area, you can get a hold of the league, find out how you can sponsor the MidStates Football League and the teams within it. Great competition. Best league in the Midwest.
If you want to find out about those information, go to the MSFLfootball.com.
Bad snap.
Throw it away.
Kelly looking, throwing, and he hits Hammonds. Was Hammonds in? Yes.
Wow,
the official
two-pointer.
was off balance and looking down, and I think that's what the Ducks are saying, that there's no way he could see that, but Hammonds got his feet down.
He got the personal.
And now there's going to be a penalty against the Ducks. So you're going to have 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties, so those will offset. So that just means the Hitmen will kick off from their normal spot.
If you're the Ducks now's the time to calm it down. Look, you're playing an okay game. You're shooting yourself in the foot here. Whether you agree with the calls or not, they're the calls. No team is ever happy with officiating, but now is where you get your team together. You have one of the best offenses, probably one of the best athletes on your side of the ball. Here's where you get it together. You're never going to win an argument with an official, ever.
So unsportsmanlike conduct. So we're going to have an unsportsmanlike conduct for the dunking. So that would be against the Hitmen.
Now they got another one.
And now another one comes out. So you had an unsportsmanlike conduct against the Hitmen for the dunk after the touchdown. Then you had an unsportsmanlike conduct against the Ducks. One of the players that on that play disagreed with the official, said something they shouldn't have said, and then after they threw that flag and had gone through that, now another penalty in unsportsmanlike conduct against the Ducks. So TJ Hearn will actually end up moving this one. Oh, are they doing a warning?
Sideline warning? Okay.
Sideline warning, so.
Good call by the refs. It's an emotional game. You got to let guys show their emotion from time to time.
Yeah, in this type of game, that's good. Good to do.
Joe,
a lot of times the coach just wants to have a discussion, you know, and sometimes you can't get the official. And is it the thing is that no official has to give any other coach the time of day other than the head coach. And so now they're moving the ball up like it might have been a second penalty. Maybe the one official is assuming that it's another penalty and just being told, no, it's a sideline. So they'll move it back. It's going to be a kickoff from the original spot now.
Yeah, and that's a good call by the referees. I mean, Joe is as good as it comes as far as coaching goes. He wanted to get his point across. I don't think the warning is a good call. This is the championship. It's very, very heated, and you got to let guys get their opinion across. So, good call.
And sometimes, you know, as a referee, you sit there and you throw a flag because a flag should be thrown. And, you know, they took a second to maybe create a little space for themselves emotionally there for the officiating crew too, and go, okay, you know, let's consider where we're at, what we're doing. Let's give them a chance here. Can see how they could be upset over that, and gave them that opportunity.
And this crew is working the game. Not, you know, everybody needs to keep in mind this isn't a Hitmen crew. This isn't a Ducks crew. This was the best statistically rated referee team.
Hearn's kick, a good one this time for Hearn, and it's going to go over the head of Chantrell Hubbard, and he jumps on in the end zone, and he'll take a knee. So Hearn with a very good kick there gets a touchback on that one, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Ducks at their own 20-yard line. So now the Ducks emotionally not in a good spot. We've just seen that. They trail by 6, 15-9 with 1:51 to play in the third.
You know, and as far as moving the ball, they've been the better team. You just got to get those emotions under wrap. You had a rough offensive set. You've had the ball, maybe 10 minutes? You have the official time, unofficial official time?
Well, in this half, they've only had the ball 48 seconds, of 13 minutes, basically.
So, I mean, you're right there. And, you know, touchdown puts you right back in, you know, in the game. Just stay with it. Now is not the time to lose it.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Locke. Looks like he has Hubbard to his right. Locke Looking, flag comes out, throwing to the sideline. Miles, no, didn't get the toes down near the 45-yard line on the far side of the field. Flag came out, so this may have been a free play against the Ducks.
Yeah.
Or are they saying against the Ducks?
I think they're calling it against the Ducks.
A legal formation perhaps here against Chi City. Already over 100 yards and penalties in the game. I'm running out of room to mark their penalties. I only have 2 more boxes for this half. Oh, a hold against the Ducks.
Now, if you're the Ducks, I think you got to go back to what got you there. Send out the receivers, open it up for lock, take the corner.
15 penalties for 115 yards in the game for the Ducks at this point. They have 8 for 70 in the third quarter. And we still have 1:41 to play, and they now have a 1st and 20 at their own 10-yard line.
1st and 20 for the 10.
Hubbard in the backfield next to Locke. Locke moves him from the left side to the right side. Trips to the right, 1 receiver to the left for Andre Locke. Locke takes the snap, looking, rolling out to his right. Locke throwing and off the fingertips of his intended receiver, and that was Andre Ward out there.
Got a flag.
And another flag on the ground.
Like
this
hold.
one a hold against the Hitmen. So that's going to be a free first down along with the 5 yards against Wisconsin.
One thing you got to keep in mind here and remember is Locke. Here's a guy that was they were down with, I think, less or just about a minute left against Quad City and came back and let him. He's a leader. He's smart. He's composed. Right now it doesn't look good, but, it's early. You got a lot of time.
1:34 to play in the third quarter. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. A little bit of a breeze starting to kick up here. Deep back is Hubbard, the handoff to Hubbard, and Hubbard plows right into the heart of that Hitman defensive line. He'll pick up a couple of yards, but not a whole ton. Foster and Hicks teamed up on the tackle there, and check that, that's not Hubbard, that is actually Phil Soule. And now we have an injured Hitman player down. So Phil Soule with his first carry here in the game, and he picks up 2 yards. It'll be 2nd down and 8. And an injury timeout.
The concession stand as a safe. All remaining beef hot dogs and Bosco sticks are $1.
So it'll be 2nd and 8 for the Ducks.
Bosco sticks and beef dogs are
1:17 to play in the third quarter. 15-9, the Hitmen lead. And a little bit of a substitution for the Hitmen. Running out onto the offensive line will be Anthony McCarron. He's going to replace Eddie King, who had been out there. McCarron, they need to get him a size bigger pants. I don't think you can put that on the internet, Ivan. Oh, okay.
Do we have something that will blur it out? That'd be a whole lot of blur.
The MSFL logo.
Yeah, it better be a big logo.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left for Andre Locke. Locke takes, gives to Soule. Soule with a little bit of room, and he scurries ahead. And he'll get close to a first down. Bring up a 3rd and 2 as he picks up 6 on that one, and it's a hurry up for the Ducks. And once again, they give to Soule, and Soule trying to power his way ahead, and that
short.
time, Tom Kroll again, first time we've called his name here in the second half, takes him down after a gain of a yard, and we'll have to see what the Ducks decide to do here on 4th and 1.
I think you got to kick it. No?
Ball back at their 24-yard line, and they're going to let the clock run out. Why kick into the wind? There's not much of a breeze, but they're going to let it run down on the third quarter.
Here's the thing for that young man playing line. Ducks have 4 jerseys. Can't they get like an 80s cardigan where they could tie it around his waist? a little Ducks cardigan, and then you could be two-purpose. One, to hide the full moon, and then two, to dry the ball off if needed.
So we head into the final 15 minutes of the Mid-States Football League season here in 2017, Steve. The Wisconsin Hitmen lead the Tri-City Ducks 15-9. This is a Ducks team that they've put up under 10 points, just not at all, under 15 just once. 13-12, they beat the Chargers on the road. But this team has gone 29, 13, 23, 24, 42, 68, 32, 28, 35, 42 to get here. Pays particular attention to those last 3 games. Those are all playoff caliber games, actually the last 4. As they played the Quad City Raiders twice in those games. All 4 of the teams were either playoff games or teams that made the playoffs.
I still think if you're the Ducks, you're calm right now. You know, you know who you got, and you're fine. You're within a score, so you know.
Nobody back deep. It looks like, are the Ducks going to go for it here?
I don't know.
They're going to line up like they are. We saw them do this against the Lincoln Way Patriots last week, and Locke still punted. But as you said, only being down by 6. Why would you risk it this deep? Now Locke is going to back up. He's going to punt this one off. Nobody back deep for the Hitmen. The Hitmen are just going to let this ball go where it may. Low snap, Locke running around, line drive kick, and on this field turf,
nice.
That's going to keep going. 30 inside the 30, and it will be downed at the 28-yard line. So that'll be a 48-yard punt with no return for Andre Locke.
And you have to honor his athleticism there. You know, it was a good play. Somebody questioned why didn't Hitman put somebody back, but you have somebody with Locke's athleticism, you have to do it.
So the Hitmen will have it 1st and 10 at their own. Looks like they'll put it at the 29-yard line. Hitmen had the football much of that third quarter. They've been moving the ball here in the second half.
And now the Duck defense is back out there again.
The Hitmen, their first drive went about 7 minutes. Their second drive, 5 minutes, 11 seconds. So they had the ball over 12 minutes in that third quarter.
Not a lot of that was penalty, but still, it's a long time for a defensive lineman to be out there.
And some confusion as they're still getting players on the field are the Hitmen.
Call a timeout.
Receiver to the right, receiver to the left. Catarucci in motion now, over to the slot on the left side. Handoff goes to Welch. Welch trying to find some room and nowhere to go, and he's going to lose a yard. So to bring up a 2nd down and 11 as Sabs is on the tackle for the Ducks. Maybe they give him back to the line of scrimmage. No gain. 2nd and 10.
Right now, if you're the Hitmen, you're playing for a field goal. Make it a two-score game.
2nd and 10.
Levy off to the left side. Corby White, the tight end, and one of the owners of the Hitmen, the tight end on the left side. Catarucci, a few yards off the line on the right side. He's going to go in motion, slot over to the left. Welch to the left of Kelly. Kelly fakes the handoff to Welch, looking to pass, throwing for Catarucci. Catarucci with the catch along the near sideline, and Talaga misses the tackle initially, but then sticks with them, and Catarucci will get up to the 35-yard line. That will be a pickup of a 7 and bring up a 3rd and 3. So Dylan Kelly has completed 9 of his last 10 passes. The one incompletion was the interception in the end zone.
Now, is he new to semi-pro? I know he's new to the Hitmen.
I wasn't familiar with him before the Hitmen this season. They empty the backfield for Kelly this time. 3 receivers off to the right. Kelly looking to his left, throwing. Catarucci makes a catch at the 40 and goes down at the 41-yard line. Be a pickup of 6 and a 1st down for the Wisconsin Hitmen, their 8th of the second half.
Tackled by number 13, Chris.
And it looks like they're happy just controlling the clock and getting the first downs right now. They're not going downfield, which is smart against this Duck defense.
12:45 to play in the 2017 MidStates Football League season. The Wisconsin Hitmen leading the Tri-City Ducks 15-9 here at ATI Field at Joliet Memorial Stadium. Levy off to the right side. Brandon Becker, the tight end, on the right side of the formation. Two backs in the backfield, one to the right of Kelly, and he has a back a couple yards behind him. Catarucci, one-on-one on the near side of the field. Kelly takes, hands off to Welch. Welch gets out of a tackle in the backfield. Flag comes down. Welch gets body slammed. This is going to come back. And now the Hitmen asking for a flag for unsportsmanlike, and now a flag comes from the official that's about 30 yards away on the far side of the field.
Walk away, guys.
So you're going to have a holding against the Hitmen, and then we'll have to see which way this flag goes from the side judge from the back. Initial play, a loss of a few yards.
Looks like you're going to get a holding and a. Is it?
Now is it a dead ball? So, because if it's the holding, then you do both of them. If otherwise, you're going to have offsetting. See what Roger Anand has to say here. So unsportsmanlike against
the Hitmen.
The Hitmen declined. Holding against the Hitmen. That will be accepted. So it'll move it back to the 31-yard line. A loss of 10. So interesting why you don't take the unsportsmanlike. Oh, offsetting and then a holding? Okay, thank you, Ivan. Offsetting. So now, offsetting unsportsmanlikes and then the holding.
Keep in mind, two personal penalty or personal fouls against one player, you're out of the game.
Two receivers each way. Kelly with the back. That's Hill to his right. 1st and 20 for the Hitmen.
That's offsides.
The handoff and going nowhere was Mike Hill. He just got lit up. And that coming in on that one was Kevin Sabs. And I believe that's going to be a loss of a yard. And it'll bring up a 2nd down and 21.
That's an old lineman trick. If a defensive lineman gets a personal foul, very next play, you go with his leg, you go with his face mask, you try to get your hand underneath it and get him another penalty. 2 and you're out.
Two receivers each way for Kelly. Back to his left. Kelly takes a snap, looking to pass, throwing to his right. Pass is complete. But the receiver immediately taken out of bounds. That's Jerry Hammonds. And on the tackle, pumping his chest, is Timothy Jarvis for the Ducks. And does that move him back even further? It does. Another loss of a yard on the incompletion, or on the completion. And so now you have a 3rd down and 22, or 17, I should say.
If you're the Hitmen, I just don't think you go for, you don't take that shot unless you absolutely have it.
3 receivers left, 1 to the right for Kelly. Back to his right. Kelly takes, under pressure, rolling out to his right, looking downfield, and catch. Was it made? What's the ruling?
Incomplete.
And they're saying incomplete to Levy. So it'll bring up 4th down, and the Hitmen will be forced to punt. So that breaks a streak of another 5 straight completions for Kelly. And with 9:51 to play in the game, the Hitmen will give the ball back to the Ducks as TJ Hearn comes on with the ball at the 34-yard line of the Hitmen.
Now, if you're Hearn, you've done a nice job. But Miles is back there, and he can change this game in a second.
Miles almost had a kick return for a touchdown in the first half. Hearn Gets it off quickly. This is one of those higher, shorter kicks. It's going to hit at the 42-yard line, and Hitmen all around it, and Miles will back off as it's going to be downed at the 33-yard line. So just a 33-yard punt by TJ Hearn. No return, though. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Chi-City Ducks at their own 34-yard line. They trail by 6, running out of time in this MSFL championship game.
You know,
go ahead.
You'll live with that 33-yard punt, though, because you keep it out of a playmaker's hands. So now you got to make the Ducks go 70 yards. You almost rather do that.
9:37 to play in the game. 15-9, the Wisconsin Hitmen lead the Chi-City Ducks. Lowest point total for the Ducks this season was 13 at the Milwaukee Chargers on the opening game of the MSFL season. 2 receivers each way for Andre Locke. Locke has Lassiter in the backfield. He hands it off to Miles, coming around on the jet sweep. Miles following his blockers, and Miles will get up to the 40-yard line before he's driven down by Jameel Moore. And that'll be a pickup of 6, bring up a 2nd down and 4.
Now don't be surprised if you don't see the same setup again, not now, but again, and have Miles keep the ball and go the other way with the guard pulling. And I think that's what Miles is pointing to.
3 receivers left, 1 to the right for Locke. Lassiter off his left hip. Now he sends Lassiter in motion. Locke looking, directing traffic, throwing, finds it over the first level. Caught, complete, and down the far sideline. That is Miles. And Miles with a big kit pickup into Hitmen territory. So just the 2nd first down for the Ducks. And that will go as a 29-yard pickup to Miles. And they get the 1st down. So Ducks keep the chains moving. 1st and 10 at the 30 of the Hitmen. First big play, really, of the game for Chi-City. Trips to the right, 1 receiver to the left for Locke. Locke audibly. Dominique Jackson in the slot on the right side, one of those 3. Locke under pressure, rolling to his right, finding some free space.
Oh,
nice play.
Nice play.
George Rainey climbs the ladder and almost brings it down on the near sideline. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
That was a big play by Rainey. Nice read on that.
8:28 to play in our game. 15-9, the Hitmen lead. The extra point has been a little bit of a fiasco here. The Hitmen got the first one, no problem, but since then the Ducks a bad snap, the Hitmen a bad snap. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left again for Locke. Lassiter off his right hip. Gonna move Lassiter in just a step towards him. Locke takes, fakes a handoff to Lassiter, pump fakes to Miles, under pressure, trying to hit Miles coming out of the backfield. He does, and Miles will bring it down to the 21-yard line. A pickup of 9 before he's dropped by Yafe Harvey. And it'll bring up a 3rd down and 1.
Looks like they're hurrying up here.
They come to the line quickly, 3 receivers left, 1 to the right, a 3rd and 1. From the Wisconsin Hitmen 20, the Chi-City Ducks trailing by 6 here in the 4th quarter of the Mid-States Football League Championship game, about midway through the 4th. Lassiter to the left of Locke in the shotgun. Locke takes, hands off to Lassiter. Lassiter taken down by the MSFL's leading tackler, Tom Kroll, for a loss of 1 back to the 21-yard line, and it's going to bring up a 4th and 2.
They're going to go for this one. And this is where you let your athletes be your athletes. Juan did a nice job. Juan Rodriguez of the Ducks changing up a little bit. Locked to Miles. You wonder if they're going to go back to that.
So here we go. Huge play. 4th and 2 for the Ducks at the 21-yard line of the Wisconsin Hitmen. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. 7 minutes left to play in our game. Ducks trail by 6. Lassiter to the right of Locke. Locke takes the snap, looking to pass, throwing,
Nice.
Caught by Andre Ward, and Ward breaking a couple tackles, and Ward will be taken down at around the 11-yard line.
Great disciplined football right there, sitting down in the pocket. Just good football.
That'll be a pickup of 11 on the pass to number 11, and Yafe Harvey with credit for the tackle, and it'll be 1st and 10 from the 12-yard line of the Hitmen. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. 6-point game, Ducks trailing, but they're threatening. Andre Locke under pressure, rolling to his right. Is it complete?
Complete.
The catch is
Got it.
made, and that again is Andre Ward making the catch. And that will
Not
be a
first down.
pickup.
Stay there. There you go.
That'll be a pickup of about 5 on the play. And that's 4 straight completions for Andre Locke now. 4th catch of the game for 33 yards for Andre Ward. He came in with just 15 catches on the season. So a 2nd down and 5 for the Ducks. At the 7-yard line, Lassiter, the handoff, off left tackle. Lassiter powers his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Chi City Ducks, and they even the game at 15 with 5:39 to play.
Very nice run. Patient runner again. Not getting huge open holes by his lineman, but still reading the ball, reading it well, and good run. And now the fateful snap here, Don.
This to give the Ducks the lead with 5:39 to play in our championship game. Gonzalez on
Going
for
for
the
2?
extra point.
Where's Gonzalez back there? Okay,
No, he's still back there, just Locke kind of directing traffic. The last time they tried this, the snap was bad. Locke tried to improvise, couldn't get anything done. Gonzalez, 17 of 21 on extra points on the season. Snap is there this time. Locke may have had trouble handling it, but Gonzalez able to knock it through, and the Ducks take a 1-point lead, 16-15 on the Hitmen with 5:39 to play in this MSFL championship game.
Well, Hitmen football. We're always close, and it's always coming to the end, it seems like. Took an overtime in the Chargers game, and the regular season Raiders Hitmen game came to the end as well.
And the Ducks have been involved, 13-12. We talked about that game against the Milwaukee County Chargers. Also, the first game against the Quad City Raiders, that 32-27 game. Both these teams have been involved in some tight ones. The Hitmen 5-3 against the Milwaukee County Chargers. Not in ideal weather conditions in that one.
Yeah.
So these teams haven't gotten here in the nature of a lot of blowouts. The Ducks more so than the Hitmen, but still, both teams have played a lot of tight games.
I know the Ducks had a big blowout against the Mustangs, who had, I think, 12 to 13 guys. The Jets, who are a new team. But yeah, a lot of close games. Chaos game, I think, was 2 touchdowns. Am I correct there? It was close.
10 points, 23-13,
okay.
yeah. Lincoln Way the first time was 9 points.
We have to recognize here that we're listening to a little new edition, so we got to call that out. That's great. I'm loving it.
And so Gonzalez to kick off. Donnell Price is one of the players back deep. Foster the other. Price is going to field it at the 19-yard line. Price cuts all the way to the far side of the field, gets a corner, the 22,
nice.
but he's
Wow,
upended.
what a tackle.
Great tackle out there, and I believe that was Lionel Charleston with the tackle for the Chi City Ducks. And it'll be Hitmen football, 1st and 10. Up around their 20, where are they going to put this down? 26-yard line? No, it should be inside that, right?
Should be, yeah.
25, it looks like they're going to put it. So Hitmen start with it, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. So here we go, 5:28 to play in the game. The Hitmen trail by 1, 16-15, the lead for the Ducks. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right for Dylan Kelly, back to his right. Kelly takes a snap, looking to his left, throwing. Hits Hammonds, and Hammonds is taken down. Durr on the tackle, and it's going to be a loss. Mark it down as a loss of 1. I haven't seen this many passes that have resulted in lost yardage, I think, ever calling a game. Already 3 for the Hitmen.
Yeah, Durr was all over that. He's seen it coming. Good thing it wasn't picked.
So it'll be 2nd and 11 for Wisconsin. 4:50 to play in the game. They trail by 1.
As Don Henley would say, time is ticking.
3 receivers to the right, 1 off to the left for the Hitmen. Tom Benko in the backfield to the left of Dylan Kelly. Kelly under pressure, rolling out to his right, avoids it and throws and completes it. Pass is completed to Maurice Baldwin, and Baldwin will pick up enough for the first down as he picks up 13.
Big hit there, but still a first down. If you're TJ Hurd and the old man, going to be warming up the leg here.
The 9th first down of the second half for the Hitmen after having just 2 in the first half of play.
What a great game tonight here, Don.
Ball at the 37-yard line. Wisconsin, they trail by 1. Hammonds, Sane, Catarucci from the inside to the outside on the trips on the left side. 1 receiver to the right. Snap, handoff. No, Kelly, the keeper, and Kelly will pick up a few yards up to the 40-yard line, a gain of 3 before he's taken down, and that was Blank Jones on the tackle.
You know, at this point, you're not a big hit offense. You're not a quick strike, but with 3:30 in ticking, you don't want to give Locke any time left if you do score. So this isn't a bad thing to go with. They got to watch that 40-second clock, though. You can't take a penalty right now.
Ball at the 40-yard line of the Hitmen. They're marching down the field, trying to get the lead in this MSFL championship game. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left for Kelly. Kelly takes a snap, has time, looking to pass, pocket breaks down. Nice. Catarucci makes the catch at midfield, and Catarucci will be taken down. Did the ball come out? They say he's down.
He was down.
They say he's down at the 46-yard line. I believe that was Durr on the tackle. And that is a pickup of 14 to Catarucci, and Catarucci has come alive here in the second half. That's his 3rd reception, and another first down, their 10th of the half for the Hitmen. And they have it at the Chi-City Ducks 46-yard line.
This is MSFL football, folks. This is what you get. You want championship, great competitive football. Here you come.
3 receivers right, 1 to the left. Benko to the left of Kelly in the backfield. Kelly takes, hands it off to Benko, straight up the middle, and he's going to plow ahead down to the 42-yard line, and that will be a gain of 4 on the play.
They're going to hurry up here, try to get 1 in before the 2-minute warning.
2:10 on the clock. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left. 5 seconds to get this snap off. Kelly, looking at the clock, gets it off just before the 2-minute warning, throwing middle of the field.
You can't do that, kid.
In between 3 black jerseys, and he's very lucky that the Ducks aren't running the clock out on this game right now.
That's a championship game right there. You cannot make a mistake like that.
So at the 2-minute warning, it's going to be a 3rd and about 5, maybe 6 here for the Wisconsin Hitmen. Ball at the 42-yard line of the Chi-City Ducks. 4 down territory at this point in time if you're the Hitmen regardless. 16-15, Chi City leads this one. They just went down the field and it went 66 yards and got a 6-yard TD run from Lassiter. The extra point from Gonzalez was good, and that is the difference, that extra point. And the kicking game has been a little bit risque here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, to feel comfortable, I think you got to get to at least a 20 for Hearn to I think you got to get within the 20 at least to feel comfortable with Hearn's leg to win it for you. Right now the game's 6 yards, and then you go from there.
Dylan Kelly has been able to get it done with his arm as well as his legs. He's been impressive in this one. Kelly, not one of those guys that really stood out this season in the Mid-States Football League, but he's ended up leading his team in this one, and they have a chance as they trail by 1 with 1:57 to go, but here's a big one. 3rd and 6 for the Wisconsin Hitmen. Twin receivers each way for Kelly. He has Benko to his left. Kelly takes, and he's going to try and run with it, and he's going to get nowhere. The tackle by Orlando Triplett, a gain of maybe 1 for Kelly, and now your ball game, ladies and gentlemen.
Ball game.
A 4th down and 5 for the Wisconsin
If I'm the Hitmen, I'm calling a timeout right now, calling a good play. You've got 1:34. Yeah, to stop the game.
They have 3 timeouts remaining. They're keeping them in their pocket right now with the clock running with 1:25 to play. Trips to the right, 1 receiver to the left. It's 4th and 5. Kelly looking for Catarucci. Ball is tipped, and there is your man DeAndre Mosley as he knocks that pass away, and the Chi City Ducks need to run out the clock. The Hitmen do have 3 timeouts remaining, so the Ducks aren't going to be able to run this fully out without getting a first down. They are going to have to try and move the chains here, Steve.
Yeah, I still don't know. I think you take a timeout there, you get the right play in that you want. But if you do get the ball back, you're going to get it with what, 20 seconds?
Well, with 3 timeouts left, they would actually get it back with probably about a minute left potentially if they hold the Ducks to a 3 and out. So all 3 timeouts remaining for the Hitmen. So if they can stop the clock right away after each play. 1st and 10, ball at the 41-yard line. This is where maybe you have Locke just rolling out of the pocket and trying to eat up some time and see if he can get a corner on one of these. Keep it in your playmaker's hands.
Be careful with that snap. You almost lost one earlier in the game.
3 receivers left, 1 to the right for Andre Locke. He has a back off his left hip. Believe that's Lassiter. Locke ready, takes, hands it off. Lassiter bullying ahead, Hicks on the tackle. Lassiter will pick up 1. It'll be 2nd and 9, a timeout, 4 seconds off the clock.
What's that?
So the Ducks rushed the ball 17 times in the first half of play, just 8 here in the second half. They lead 16-15. The third quarter completely dominated by the Wisconsin Hitmen. They had the ball for over 12 minutes in the third quarter of play. But there one time when they're down inside the red zone of the Ducks, Kelly throws a pick in the end zone. That's the difference in this one.
Yep.
That would have been 3 pretty easy points.
Yeah.
At the very least.
Different game.
And I believe that was only on 2nd down that he threw that pick as well. So now Wisconsin has to hold the Ducks on a 3 and out. They have 2 timeouts remaining here in the second half. Twin receivers each way for Andre Locke. Lassiter to his left in the backfield. Locke looking over the defense, 1:13 to play, takes it, fakes the handoff to Lassiter. Locke is going to keep it, and Locke slips 1 tackle, but then he runs right into 2 other Wisconsin Hitmen players. Kyle Bowman, one of them, gets back to the line of scrimmage. That's it, and a timeout by the Hitmen, 1:08 left to play. Locke, that's his first carry here in the second half. It'll be a 3rd and 9. The Tri-City Ducks need to get to the 49-yard line of the Hitmen for a first down. So here's the situation. Do you try to pass for that first down, knowing that you're only going to eat up 4 seconds off the clock anyhow?
No, the Hitmen have shown they don't have big play capability. You take the 2-3 yards and then punt it and let them try to. They cannot drive. They've shown it.
They break the huddle. Tight end will be on the left side of the formation in Creekmore. Heard the buses just get started up. 3 receivers to the right. Locke has Lassiter to his right side.
Looks like they're going to throw.
Locke ready. Takes it. Gives to Lassiter. Lassiter plows his way ahead. He'll pick up a couple of yards before he runs into Carlos Rattler.
Smart play.
And it's going to bring up 4th down. The Hitmen use their final timeout, and they'll get the ball back with about a minute left to play. 1:03 on the clock right now. They trail by 1. The line of scrimmage, the 43-yard line of the Tri-City Ducks. Andre Locke, a 29-yard punt and a 48-yarder, though on that 48-yarder, the Hitmen had nobody back deep. So they'll get the ball with about a minute left. Probably have about 55 seconds or so after the return here. They send Foster back deep to return this one. Monty Cooper, who's their dangerous returner, was injured in that conference championship game. He's not available. Jonathan Johnson, that's another key player for the Hitmen. Their starting running back that they didn't have available. He also was hurt in their conference championship game.
If you're locking, you got to look. Do you take it?
No, you just get this off. Low line drive kick, hits at the 25, picked up by Foster at the 18. Foster, the 30, the 35, the 40, and he's leveled out of bounds, and a flag's going to come in.
That's against the Ducks.
Lowered his shoulder and went into him. And a big return by Foster there of 22 yards, and they're going to tack on 15.
That's getting them close.
So another 15-yard penalty against the Ducks. They now have 16 penalties for 130 yards in the game.
Yeah, that's...
And this is going to put the Hitmen on the Duck side of the field with 55 seconds to play. Yep. Did I call that one, or did I call that one?
You did. Let's see. I mean, that has to be it, just where it was called.
So the Wisconsin Hitmen will have the ball basically back at what the line of scrimmage was. So if you're the Ducks, you might as well have gone for it at this point in time. They'll put it at the helmet to helmet. Thank you, Ivan. They'll put it at the Ducks' 48-yard line. First and 10 for the Hitmen with 55 seconds to go.
No timeout.
Trips to the left, 1 receiver to the right for Kelly. Kelly looking to his left, under pressure, rolling to his left, throwing deep. Catarucci open.
Oh my God!
Makes the catch at the 10. Catarucci,
touchdown!
Carl, Wisconsin Hitmen.
Wow!
They go 48 yards.
My goodness!
For the touchdown, and there is Andrew Catarucci.
Wow!
And the Hitmen lead 21-16 with 46 seconds left to play.
I told you they had a big play in him. I said he can do it, and I always said he can go downfield. Wow. This is MSFL football, people. This is why you want to be in this league. This is why you want to sponsor this league.
85 yards on 5 catches for Catarucci, and the touchdown catch with 46 seconds left to play. And now TJ Hearn on. If you're the Hitmen, go for 2 here.
Go for 2. See, in the NFL, you're talking about a 4-hour game, commercials, everything else. MSFL football, we're out of here. 3 hours, done. Excitement. This is great, man. This is it. This is what you want to sponsor. This is what you want to come out and see.
And yeah, there they finally realized that there's no point in kicking. Well, there is a point in kicking one with how the extra points have gone in the game. 2 of 4 have had bad snaps, so that would give you at least that 6-point lead. But this would force the Ducks to have to get the.
And now you got Mr. Locke coming back. Boy, you could not write this any better. This is outstanding.
46 seconds left to play. 48-yard Kelly TD pass, his third. This one to Catarucci. And now a delay of game penalty called against the Hitmen.
Not bad. Give you a little bit more field to work with if you're looking for a pass.
Moving back to the 8-yard line here.
Wow.
Well, there is Andrew Catarucci. We talked about him early on.
One target.
That first half, he had 1 catch for 10 yards. He has had 4 now here in the second half for 75 yards. And we talked about it earlier in the game. There was a play where the receiver didn't come back to a ball that Kelly threw that was underthrown, didn't know where he was, where the ball was. That was Carney, I believe. Catarucci, you saw the difference in a receiver that's played at a higher level. I believe he came from UW Milwaukee, their club team, where he was coached by a buddy of mine, Dave Mogensen.
And you see it right there.
So now the 2-point conversion attempt. Quirio to the left of Kelly, Benko behind him, 2 receivers to the right, or to the left, tight end on the right side, and it's going to be another delay of game against the Hitmen. And now you're definitely going for the 2, otherwise you're talking what would be the.
No, if it gets blocked and they take it back, that would be what?
The extra point doesn't. Nope, you can't do it. Once it would be a dead ball unless it was. On the 2-point, they can pick it off,
Yeah, okay.
They could return the 2-point. Sorry, I thought you were talking about if they tried an extra point here. Hammonds and Sane, the receivers on the left side. Tight end on the right side of the formation. Kelly in the pistol. Fakes the pitch, under pressure, rolling to his right, throwing for Quirio, and can't connect. But still for the Hitmen, they have a 5-point lead with 46 seconds left to play. They lead the Ducks 21-16.
All 3 timeouts too, right?
The Ducks have 2 timeouts remaining. They used 1 on defense, I believe, on that first drive right before the interception.
Yeah, wow. This is exciting.
So here it is, 46 seconds to go. What an exciting one here, the MidStates Football League championship game. And we're here at ATI Field at Joliet Memorial Stadium, and just a great game. Unbelievable one between the Chi-City Ducks, the winners of the Thomas Division, along with the Wisconsin Hitmen, the winners of the Richhart Conference. And these 2 teams, no matter what, we're going to have a new champion. New champion in the MidStates Football League. TJ Hearn is going to tee it up. You socializing?
Yes. Yes.
You're just a social butterfly.
Yes, I am.
I don't know. Your wings have to work really hard to get you off the ground.
Yeah, that's it would be a lot of work. After this game, boy, I'm motivated. I'm playing next year.
Well, and now here's the thing. Miles has almost returned one earlier in the game.
Yeah.
So he has the potential to take it to the house at any point in time. They also have Chantrell Hubbard back there.
And he's also almost fumbled too. So do you swim it? You don't hit it to him in a line drive. If you're on special teams, stay in your lane.
So here we go. Hearn kicking off. Hitmen lead by 5. 48-yard Kelly to Catarucci connection. Line drive kick. They go to Hubbard. Hubbard hauls it in at the 16. Hubbard the 25. Slips a tackle. Hubbard the 30. And Hubbard just got him. Just got tripped up. And that was, I believe, Donnell Price on the tackle. That took 10 seconds off the clock. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Ducks at their own 34-yard line.
Now what do? Do you go back into prevent, or you play the defense that's gotten you here?
Well, remember at the end of the first half, it looked like they went into a prevent for a little bit and then went man-to-man.
You got one of the best defenses, or you have probably statistically one of, if not the best defenses. Stay what got you here.
Carlos Rattler pumped.
Fired up.
2 receivers, 3 receivers will go off to the left, 1 receiver to the right for the Tri-City Ducks, and Andre Locke, the Rookie of the Year. Running back to his left, don't think that they're going to be handing it off here with 2 timeouts remaining. And they need to go 66 yards for the win in the MSFL championship game. The snap comes out. It gets by Locke. Locke picks it up, throws it in the air, and throws it out of bounds down the far sideline. Anthony Evans
I think Locke's asking if he came early. It was close.
That's why the center probably snapped it, thought that the Hitmen jumped off. And when you see Rattler so pumped up, that's what you're trying to do there, right? Trying to use that extra emotion that he's feeling to get him to make a mistake.
Man, your heart is going right now. I've been on this side of the ball. Your heart's going 9,000 miles per minute right now.
2nd and 10, 31 seconds left to play in the game. Ducks with 1 receiver to the left, 3 to the right. Hitmen with no timeouts remaining. Tri-City with 2. They can use the whole field. Andre Locke has Lassiter to his left. Just 3 down linemen, and this time the Hitmen jump, and they blow the whistle immediately. Yeah, which side did it go? They're going to say encroachment is the initial indication.
Yeah.
So it'll go against the Hitmen.
Not a terrible call.
They have 6 penalties for 45 yards here in the second half. 11 for 79 yards in the game. And it'll be a 2nd down and 5. And they're asking for time to be put back on the clock, but nobody can hear them because there's no windows.
Do we need time on the clock?
They want 31 seconds, I believe, on the clock.
31 seconds.
31.
There we are. We're back.
3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Locke in the shotgun. He has Lassiter to his left. 2nd and 5 for the Tri-City Ducks. Ball up at the 39-yard line, their own. Hicks.
Holding.
Rolling out to his right. Brian Miles, did he touch him down? No, he was out of bounds.
And that's a hold.
Incomplete pass. Miles didn't quite get his feet down, and coming in there disagreeing with Chantrell Hubbard. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 now with 24 seconds left.
I'm a lineman. For me to say it was a hold, that was bad. But
Wes
let him play. Hey, you know what? And I know it seems one-sided with the penalties, but these guys have done a nice job tonight.
I don't know, one side. You have,
well, I mean, yards-wise.
16 and 11. Yeah, though the yards. Dumber penalties, you could say, by the
Crucial,
Ducks, I guess.
Yeah,
more crucial. They gave a lot of first downs on holds and unsportsmanlike.
But I think it's all legit. I don't think we've seen anything that was outlandish.
I agree.
Watch it.
Wisconsin going, and now the Ducks jump, and they're trying to say that
that was Ducks.
That the linebacker George Rainey is what drew them to the jump. So a false start against the Ducks. 10 penalties for 90 yards just in the second half, Steve.
Yeah, that's not a formula for winning.
Ball at the 34-yard line of Tri-City now. They need to go 66 yards in 24 seconds. They have 2 timeouts remaining to win the MSFL championship. They trail by 5. 3 receivers right, 1 to the left for Andre Locke. Locke takes a snap, looking to pass, looking downfield, rolling out to his right, stepping up and can't hit Denzel Whitaker along the near sideline. It's going to be the ball game right here.
4th down
and 11 for the Ducks.
Wow.
So here it is, this season, the MidStates Football League season. Wisconsin Hitmen lead by 5. Trying to claim their first MSFL championship. They've been in the league for about 7-8 years. First time in the game, in this game, the championship game. ATI Field at Joliet Memorial Stadium, it comes down to this. 4th and 11 for Tri-City. They'll have 3 receivers to the right for Locke, 1 to the left. Lassiter will be his protection in the backfield. 17.4 seconds to play. Locke takes the snap, looking to pass. Nowhere to go. Steps up in the pocket. He's going to run. Locke has the first down. Still on his feet at the 45, and Locke will be taken down by Bowman, who grabbed his hand as he took him to the turf. And so with 6 seconds, 5.5 seconds to play, they'll have a first down up at the 47-yard line, a pickup of 13. But it comes down to this, and you said Locke, not the greatest arm. So what do you do here?
Well, you got Miles, you know, you got to throw it up.
Ducks use their second timeout. They have one remaining, so they could try a really, really quick play, have the receiver give himself up and get a little bit closer to make the heave a little bit easier.
And here's a message to all you team guys. They also lost a lot of guys. They never gave up, didn't listen to anybody. And here they are, 5.6 seconds away from winning the MSFL championship.
When you talk about their quarterback, the guy who's been their guy for several years, Tony Henner, got called to military service, so he couldn't be with the team. And then Dylan Kelly steps up, and they've just rode him all the way to the final 6 seconds of the MSFL championship. Here it is, 5.6 seconds left in the game. The Hitmen with two safeties back around the 25-yard line. Locke empties the backfield. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. Locke takes the snap, rolls to his left, back to his right, leaps a defender, under pressure, and he's going to go down. Malcolm Love with the sack to end the season. And the Wisconsin Hitmen are your MSFL champions in 2017 with a 21-16 victory over the Chi-City Ducks. Malcolm Love, the Defensive Player of the Year in the MidStates Football League, gets the final play of the season. It's a big sack. That's going to be a loss of about 7 yards officially, and that's how it ends. What a game we had for you this evening. Take a look at our scoring recap in this one before we leave you. It was the Wisconsin Hitmen who got on the board first. Kelly to Hammonds, a 6-yard TD pass, earned the extra point. It was 7-zip Hitmen with 12:23 to play in the first half. Then Gonzalez nailed a 25-yard field goal for the Chi-City Ducks with 4:28 to play, making it 7-3. Locke connected with Whitaker for a 6-yard TD. There was a bad snap on the extra point. It was 9-7 going into halftime. That happened with 12 seconds left to play in the first half. Then in the third quarter, Kelly to Levy for 10 yards with 2 minutes to play in the third. Kelly to Hammonds on the 2-point conversion on a broken play. 15-9, the lead for the Wisconsin Hitmen. The Ducks responded back in the fourth quarter with 5:39 to play. Lassiter a 6-yard TD run. Gonzalez the kick. It was 16-15 in favor of the Chi-City Ducks. And that's when on the ensuing drive, the Hitmen got a penalty by the Ducks that moved them into Ducks territory to start it out right at the 48-yard line. The first play, it was Kelly underthrowing Catarucci, but Catarucci came back to the ball at the 10-yard line, slipped by a defender, and walked into the end zone, and that was the final score of the game. The Hitmen 21 and the Ducks 16. Take a look at some of our stats here as we tabulate them. Just 82 yards passing in the game for Andre Locke. Meanwhile, the Ducks had 17 penalties for 135 yards. Miles had 3 catches for 50 yards in the game, 4 for 33 for Andre Ward, and 3 for 11 with a touchdown for Denzel Whitaker. Rushing-wise, Locke had 9 rushes for 56 yards. It was 3 for 9 for Chris Williams. 12 for 36 for Lassiter. 3 for 10 in the game for Philip Soul. And 1 for 6 for Miles. For the Wisconsin Hitmen, what a great game out of their quarterback, Dylan Kelly. He only had 21 yards passing in the first half, 6 completions, 9 attempts, but ended up leading his team to victory. He finished 17 of 23 in the game. For 149 yards. Sorry, trying to figure these out for you on the fly here, folks. Catarucci ended up having those 5 catches for 85 yards. Jerry Hammonds, 5 catches for 33 yards. Levy, 2 for 16, and 2 for 20 in the game for Maurice Baldwin. 11 penalties for 79 yards against the Wisconsin Hitmen. 7 carries for 15 yards for Dylan Kelly. 9 for 21 in the contest on the ground for David Welch. 1 for -1 for Mike Hill, and 1 for 4 for Tom Benko. 3 touchdown passes in the game for Dylan Kelly. 1 to Hammonds, 1 to Levy, and the game winner to Catarucci. 1 for Locke, that went to Whitaker. Lassiter with a passing or a rushing TD in the game as well. So the Wisconsin Hitmen, they win the 2017 MSFL Championship 21-16 over the Chi-City Ducks. The Chi-City Ducks had not lost in the MSFL this year until tonight at ATI Field in Joliet Memorial Stadium. The trophy returns back to the Northern Conference. It was spent some time in the South with the Lincoln Way Patriots winning last year, but it's back to the North as the Wisconsin Hitmen hoist the trophy at the 45-yard line. I want to thank Steve Sliwka along with Ivan Ortega. He was behind the camera the entire night for this one. Also Jeremy Wozrick, who is doing the social media for the league on Facebook. I'm Dan Wadewitz. The final in the 2017 MSFL Championship game, a thriller. The Wisconsin Hitmen 21, the Chi-City Ducks 16. Thanks for tuning in to the MSFL Championship game here on YouTube. Just a reminder to live life to the fullest and be good to one another. We'll see you in 2018 for more MidStates Football League action. Have a great night and a great rest of your weekend.